line. And on the first down throw, goes down the middle. And it's a touchdown for Rylan Rodalonis. 13-0 lead on the board in the first quarter. Jackson again looking for Fish, and this time the pass is on the money. And St. John's prep. This one's good! And intercepted by Anthony Caruso. And here he goes. The quarterback is on the loose. Four-man rush. Throws across the body, looking for Peters. He's got him on the run. And look out. Inside the 10, the 5, touchdown Exeter. Blitz up the middle. This one intercepted. Picked off in the flat. It's Lynch. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. He's got a first down and then some. He's got a burst to the right side. He's inside the 20, inside the 10. It's the Bolin. Great cut. He's going to turn on the Jets. Morrison again through the hole. Look out. On his first carry tonight, the junior Brooks Connors is gone. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Salem. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. It's the Salem Blue Devils and the Pinkerton Astros. Two shortlist championship contenders, really year in and year out in Division I. Pinkerton, of course, is the defending champion, and they are off to a 2-0 start. The Astros unchallenged through their first two games, no problem with either Wyndham or Central. Salem, slug match against Concord in week number 1. Then they blow out Alvern 48-0 in week 2 to arrive here, Steve, in front of a big crowd in a big D1 Central early season matchup.
Absolutely, Nick. I think when you see this game anytime, doesn't matter what the record is, whatever, it's kind of like an Exeter-Winnicott game. Everything just kind of gets stepped up to a new level, and so many other matchups, south, north, whatever. But this year, it's amplified by two teams that are undefeated and showed right during the Jamboree who they were and how strong a team they were. To think about these teams only getting better looks to me like we're going to go to the anthem. Having said that, this is going to be a barn burner tonight. Have some new developments that I know you're going to share. We'll get to those.
We'll set the lineups when we come back. Also, the coin toss and then the opening kick on the other side. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Maybe it's leaning too close to your home. Maybe it's not healthy. Or maybe you just don't like it there. No matter what the reason is, if you need tree work or pruning, call Accurate Tree Service. They have the right equipment and expertise to properly diagnose, treat, or remove trees, no matter how difficult the terrain. Perhaps simple, careful pruning by our certified arborist is all you need to manage your trees and shrubs. When it comes to your tree care, contact the full-service tree care experts today. Accurate Tree Service, because you only get one chance to take a tree down right.
Are you a quarterback who is ready to take your game to the next level? Well, then it's time to join TKQB Academy. Founded by former UNH standout Trevor Knight, TKQB Academy has worked with student athletes from around New England, helping young quarterbacks to reach their full potential. TKQB Academy offers one-on-one and group sessions that will help you instantly improve your accuracy, timing, mechanics, and footwork. So be the best QB you can be at TKQB Academy. Call 603-732-7194 or reach out on Instagram at TKQBA.
How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Well, we're back here in Salem at the newly renovated Grant Field in front of a bustling crowd on a gorgeous Friday night. Not a bad spot to be. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel at FNL Media. And we welcome those of you streaming online as well at Nesson Nation. Pinkerton 2-0, Salem 2-0. These two teams met a year ago, a Salem victory. After that, Pinkerton didn't lose the rest of the way as they went on to win the Division I championship. Both teams bring a lot back. Both teams are pretty deep. And we should see some of the state's best student athletes, some of the best football players in the state of New Hampshire.
Yeah, no doubt, Nick. I mean, that team last year with Pinkerton was just one of the better teams I've seen in a lot of years. We almost say that every single year. However, this Salem team this year, Nick, seems to have a defense that's really incredible. And both of these teams have proven they have incredible defenses. Really looking forward to seeing that, how these teams stack up defensively one another. But I know there's a new development that maybe you want to share with us that we just found out recently.
Yeah, Salem at the quarterback spot. Junior Chris Goss out tonight. Sophomore Van Mason set to step in here. So a little bit of a different, perhaps, wrinkle from Salem tonight with the sophomore QB.
It means a whole. Don't forget, these teams are probably going to wind up playing each other again at some point in the playoffs. Just the way that you've got to believe it's going to wind up. If that happens, what are the implications of that? One thing for sure is there's a sophomore quarterback that's going to get some big game experience here, and that never hurts for a sophomore to come in. I do think keys to this game, one in particular, is this new development. How are they going to protect him? How are they going to rally around him, make sure that he's not getting rattled? The offensive line is going to have a tall order against this defense. Linebackers of Pinkerton, absolutely fantastic. The tackling, the quality of tackling that they've shown in the first two games has been incredible from what I've heard. Talked to Coach O'Reilly last night. Very says his team is going to be okay. If Coach O'Reilly says they're going to be okay, that means they're probably pretty darn good. Yeah. Coach Abraham, you could tell, was confident in his team. Always a reserve guy, has this game in perspective. Shared that with us last night. It's great to talk to both of those coaches and see them. They run great programs. Tackling and blocking is at a premium. I'll hand it off to you, Nick, as we get the game going here, but we can talk more about that as the game continues.
We'll set the start a bit early here. 6:58 local time. Getting ready to go. The lights are already on here.
Let's get it going.
Grant Field. The Astros set to receive. They're in their road whites. They'll head left to right in this first quarter. Salem in their home blues. And there's the kick off the right foot of Ryan Bryant, the senior. It's going to squib its way through the back of the end zone. And Pinkerton set to trot out their offense. They are led by the returning starter from a championship team. That, of course, is Aiden McDonald. He's a senior. So far, so good for the signal caller and this offense. Pinkerton, they've outscored opponents, Steve, 69-0 through the first 2 weeks combined. A home victory over Wyndham to open up the season, and their first road win came at Manchester Central, 41-0 last week.
And make no mistake, this place is filling up to overcapacity very quickly. My guess is there'll be no seats left, and there'll be people stacked around the fence on each side. This game is loading right up here. A lot of anticipate to see how these teams match up.
Handoff on 1st and 10, and Pinkerton, they call a run play out of the gate. And it's Brady Spellman who grinds his way up to the 24-yard line for a 3-yard gain. We spoke with Coach O'Reilly last night on FNL Gridiron, our preview show, and Well, he had a lot of good things to say about the junior Riley Spellman.
He did, and the thing that he spent most of the time talking about, interestingly enough, was his defensive capability and the impact that he has defensively, and it's more of a shared role this year as a set of a feature back. Coach O'Reilly's going to be using a lot of different backs tonight.
His older brother came through the program. His older brother was Riley. I misspoke a moment ago. This is, of course, Brady Spellman. And it's back again to a right side run. Good. Ryan Todd, one of the two-way stars for Salem up front, one of the captains who makes the stop and forces what looks like a 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, Salem looks like they're in a 4. I may be wrong, but it looks like a 44 front. We'll check it out again here. Nice job caving in and controlling the edge there by number 55. He is a big guy and looks like he's as strong to do.
That's James Nelson, one of the other captains for Salem. Meanwhile, flags are going to fly, and it looks like the game's first penalty is on the way. Our referee tonight is Chuck Robert. Steve, I know he's one of your personal favorites. Chuck, led by joins up with umpire Mike Parkin, head linesman Mike Murphy, line judge Mike Santaro, and the back judge tonight is Damian Seven.
What I like about Chuck, Nick, is he's very into letting the fan base know what's going on in the game. He's very explicit in how he makes calls. He's very clear and concise. Every move, every placement, manages his crew well. Always liked Chuck as a head official. Game's in control at all times.
So a 3rd down and 12 following the procedure penalty. Pinkerton needs to find the 30-yard line. Handoff, left side run, a good cut at the 25, and a gang tackle at the 28 is going to leave the Astros about a yard and a half short here. Jody Nunez credited with the tackle. The football is going to be spotted at about the 28-yard line, so 4th down and 2.
You're going to see that's just a matter of a nice plant and cut up field, but nice job of swarming defense of the Blue Devils, Nick, and they defensively got the job done against Pinkerton. So important when you kick the ball off to force a punt, especially in the opposition zone. So job completed as far as the Salem Blue Devils are concerned on first opportunity.
So a 3 and out for the Astros and a line drive punt off the right foot of A.J. Schultz.
Boy, if that was a fair catch call, Nick, that was very interesting. I didn't really see. We're going to get a better look probably on the replay, but
they rule it a fair catch at the 45-yard line. So Salem set to bring out their offense after the defense holds up their side of the bargain. We see the fair catch called for by Salkovich. Salkovich, a player to watch tonight. Again, a 2-way player, really 3-way if you throw in the special teams.
Exactly.
And his duties there as punt returner. He's been part of the program now for 3 years, and he's only a junior. Kind of stood out.
Been calling his name for a long time.
Right, absolutely. A couple of falls ago, he caught our eye here on this field.
Sure did.
As a young freshman. So we've got a 1st down and 10 for Salem. Van Mason, the sophomore, is under center tonight. Or is he? That's number 13 out there. That is Mason. Handoff right side. And Pinkerton's got plenty of players over there on the edge. Looks like it's Salkovich carried to the 48-yard line. Only a 3-yard gain. So a 2nd down and 7. Well, both teams, Steve, are known in the past to pound the football.
They are.
And tonight we expect a lot of run, but a little bit of pass perhaps as well.
Yeah, it's when they're coming. I mean, you know that certain coaches are going to try to establish that run. Got a good push there off the Blue Devil offensive line, but those linebackers of Pinkerton came in and covered quickly. Same here.
Out of the I formation, it's Jordan Zanini. Or make that Shakrella. It's Aiden Shakrella, yep. Really kind of a committee attack, always has been under head coach Steve Abraham. Zanini has grabbed some headlines, a couple of big games to start the season for the senior. And Shakrella has been almost as good, the junior. Moving the pile there up to the 49-yard line. 3rd down and 6, so the Astro defense a chance to force a 3 and out here. Well, Salem will look to the Pinkerton 45-yard line.
Well, you've got such 50-year-plus history here. These teams do it every single year. They test each other to test that line of scrimmage, see who's got the advantage. Big play here.
It's a pitch left side. Shakrella. This time it is Zanini. And
I think he got it.
Yeah, trying to dive his way down to the 45-yard line, it's going to be close.
No, it's going to, you're right, Nick. They're going to bring that back. He must have stepped out of bounds. It looks to me like they're going to give him the first down. Looked to me like he might have been a foot or so behind. But after they did kind of a sideline measurement, he gets the first down. So,
yep.
That's a big item for, and boy, he's got some speed, and can he turn that arc?
Zanini,
wow.
6-yard pickup on his first carry, and now
I've heard about it.
The officials are going to allow for a Salem substitution. Jack Richard going to jog his way to the home sideline and is replaced by Josiah Tabon,
this
sophomore.
This young quarterback seems to be very calm, very able to handle the role at this point.
He's in the I formation. He's going to hand off. Zanini this time is in trouble.
Yeah.
Ran into a monster on the edge by the name of James Caruso, the senior. Off to a blazing start in his final campaign for Pinkerton. Gets his first tackle here tonight.
Yeah, other than the quarterback, they had a lone runner back there, lone set, and Pinkerton just flowed to the ball, believed that the handoff was coming, and they were right, and they just completely overpowered that left-hand side coming from the Salem, as far as the Salem side is concerned, or the weak side, so to speak. And let me tell you, they have got some. They had to come in with some force there.
Yeah. From the second level, Ian Davidson in the area on the stop as well. So it's a 2-yard loss. Salem facing a second down and 12.
Nice.
They're going to roll out Mason. He's got Zanini, and then Salem has a first down.
That's a sophomore.
Zanini slicing down to the 25-yard line for a big pickup of 20.
This sophomore just rolled out like a senior. One of the things that watch this reverse pivot here. Beautiful fake, and this on the run, perfect form, and delivers a bullet right in the breadbasket. That doesn't look like a sophomore quarterback to me, and we know that he is. And if that's any indication of the future of Salem, let's just say they're in good hands.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rice and Michaud with the stop, but it's a 20-yard pickup. And the longest play from scrimmage either way so far. We approach the midway point, first quarter. Fresh set of downs for Salem, but look out. Going backwards.
25.
Big stick for Noah Real, the transfer from Londonderry. With a form tackle there. Forward progress will spot the ball at the 25-yard line, so no gain on the play.
Boy, I'll tell you, that is a fill right there, Nick. You look for green space, those big defensive linemen, they're tall and lanky, just like Coach O'Reilly said last night. Caruso's, obviously built wide, but boy, I think Caruso has grown a couple inches himself over the last year. He's much taller than he was last year, and this young man is quite a football player, but he's got those linebackers are filling really, really well. They're getting good vision. They read their keys well. And there's just so much film review on both of these teams against each other. It's really going to be about execution and just one-on-one matchups that, across the board, and who's going to be able to win those in order to spring a runner to the house. But these linebackers from Pinkerton and Salem both look very solid. We've seen a little more of Pinkerton. They're getting involved, but they're working off those great defensive line stunts that are being called in, and they flow to the green space very, very quickly. And just if there's ever linebackers that have heads up, shoulders down, and they're not looking at any jukes. They are got their laser focus on the hips, Nick. And they follow the runner, and they get good body and low center of gravity. They're winning that battle.
As you can see, not a seat to be had here at Grant Field in Salem, sun setting in southern New Hampshire. As we come out of the timeout, Salem running a dive play. And just a big pile of rubble and rust there. Nothing going. May have been a QB sneak.
Well, it looked like
Mason, or it may have been a faulty snap.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're going to find out here. One of the things.
Either way, it's a loss of 1. Sets up a third down and 11.
Looked like a little jumpy on the snap. It looked like his body was moving forward, and you can't do that. You've got to get the ball in your hands first. Let that split second for the line to win the cadence battle on the push, and then go.
So 3rd and 11.
Oh, I love that call.
Salem going to stick to the run.
Inside trap.
And it's going to produce 5 yards.
Yeah, we talked last night about both of these teams are right up there on the list of how to get to the line of scrimmage quickly. Exeter does it. These teams, they practice that little inside trap where you double down on the interior and then get a kick-out block from the backside guard. And you threw the line so fast, the linebackers are already catching them by the time they get through because they really don't have any time to read keys and react.
5-yard pickup for Jacob Beaudry, the senior, on his first attempt.
This
fourth down and 5. It's going to be a long field goal try here, a 36-yarder.
Yeah.
Ryan Bryant is the kicker. Snap, hold, kick. This one up and
wow!
No good.
Must have gone off to the right.
It fades right.
Had the leg.
And Salem is going to come away empty on their opening drive.
Yep.
4.5 to go first quarter. We stay scoreless, so a win there for Pinkerton. But still, the young sophomore proving, Steve, that he can move the football.
Yeah, other than a little bit of bobble snap, and we don't know if that was early or not. Those are the kind of things that are expected when you have a young quarterback coming in. But overall, you got to give him a pretty good mark there of how he handled the offense, the flow. Those inside traps it's all about the decoys. What I like is he's selling his fakes very, very well, like a mature quarterback. And that rollout was outstanding. I'd be looking to get him out in that space. It looked to me, if he didn't have an open receiver, he had some running room. He looked like he had some really good speed as well. We'll see.
So Pinkerton going to bring the offense back onto the field. After going 3 and out on the game's opening possession, the football is at the Astro 20-yard line. Second series for the senior quarterback, Aiden McDonald, who's going to come under center here with a split backfield behind him. Salem with 5 on the line on 1st and 10. Handoff left side. Good cut. Trying to find his way to the 30 and close to a first down. I believe that's Jordan Ball. Who is that here, Steve? We don't have a 24 on the roster.
Yeah, with a glare inside, it's hard to tell on the other side when they go to the other side of the field what number that was. I think you're right, Nick. Assuming that's the case, I believe that's another transfer from Londonderry.
If it's Jordan Ball, you're right. He was a former Lancer
last year.
Along with the aforementioned Noah Rayo, they both came over. Either way, got ourselves a 1st and 10 after the 10-yard pickup. Left side run, and this is Spellman, who is back to work. No, it's Spellman, that's right. We've got Spellman as 22, and it makes much more sense.
Sure,
he's actually wearing number 24. So Spellman, again, back-to-back productive carries. This one goes for 8 yards.
He's a tunneler. He's got a good plant step, Nick, and he has a tunneling move that's very difficult to pick up as he comes through the inside and outside blocks of his offensive linemen, and he's got scampers for 5 yards before you even see him.
This time it's the big back, Joseph Osanya. Senior makes his way across midfield for another big Pinkerton pickup.
A contributor last year for Pinkerton as well. He looks
also their starting,
faster, stronger.
Starting middle linebacker on defense, and a player to watch tonight for sure. That one goes for 17 for Osanya.
If I'm Coach O'Reilly and the offensive unit, I'm looking and liking what I'm seeing with the upfront blocking and the quick moves inside on their runners. They're looking for first inside space and then going after it. And that's how you beat a really good defense. You have to.
Back to Osanya, left side run. Going to protect the football.
Still on
a
his feet.
Second effort. Going to get him down to about the 42-yard line. All in all, another bullish run for Osanya. 6-yard pickup to set up 2nd down and 4. Well, Coach O'Reilly, again, very complimentary to Osanya, not just last night when we spoke to him on FNL Gridiron, but in years past, and obviously show some trust here on the game's second drive.
Yeah, Morrison comes once in a lot of years. Let's just put it that way. Matt Morrison of last year. What he's trying to do is do it more by committee. Coach talked about that last night, and we're seeing that now. And he's looking for weaknesses and looking to move the ball around with different types of backs. And they're doing a good job here moving the football.
We got an illegal shift here, Steve. It's going to be the second penalty against the Astro offense.
Yep, 2
in
guys
this
in
first
motion.
quarter.
Yep, and that's costly when you get into this ground and running game. I wouldn't even call this pound. This is beyond ground and pound. This is really very strategic style running, moving the ball around to a lot of different gaps, running off tackle, and some good blocking schemes coming off the line, given the defense that is being thrown at them, and they've been winning the battle.
There's Coach O'Reilly roaming the sideline
Yep.
for the 45th time as head coach. He's, of course, the school's athletic director as well.
He's not going to like that flag.
And I believe, Steve, 12 state championship rings in the trophy case for Coach O'Reilly.
Incredible.
On the football side of things, at least.
Look at him go.
Spellman on a big cut, big play, and it looks like a big gainer in the end. They're not going to give him the touchdown. A diving effort, got down near the pylon, but they rule him out of bounds back at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, but he hit the pylon. It was just a matter that he stepped out of bounds, apparently, before he did it. Official was right on it. We're going to see it right here.
That's a 42-yard pickup. And you can see the speed on display. Good hustle.
Yep, there it is right there, 6-yard line. Is that where they have it?
Yep.
They're right on it, the official.
Good hustle by the defender, Ryan Bryant, to force the issue. So 1st and goal with the football now at the 6-yard line as Pinkerton looks to strike first.
Was that the official that made the call? Who's the official there on the side here?
That should be Mike Santaro, the line
Mike,
judge.
what a heck of a call right there. And the reason why is he is hightailing it down the line to get a good look.
Handoff right side, and this is going to result in a touchdown. Jordan Ball, the Londonderry transfer, showing some power down near the goal line. It's a 6-yard touchdown, and Pinkerton has a 6-0 lead.
The hitting that's going on there, just a very, very, as expected, physical game. When you look at the type of hitting on the way down the field from both teams, it's a war out here. But this is the kind of drive that kind of really wears the defenses out. These guys are in great condition. They'll bounce back, but they're going to have to be able to respond here and get this defensive unit, as many of them as they can, on the sidelines to get a little bit of a rest. Because that's a long, pounding drive right there. I'm going to say that must have been, about 13 plays, somewhere in that range?
All on the ground.
Yeah, all on the ground.
Extra point. This was pretty. Up and in.
It's a nice drive.
And Pinkerton going to calculate a 70-yard drive with that 6-yard touchdown run by the newcomer Jordan Ball, the junior. Able to maintain his balance down there at the 1-yard line and then lean his way across to complete the drive. 7-0 Astros inside of 2 minutes, first quarter.
All I can say is when you see play like that, you know they've been lifting since January, Nick. That is really, really hard-nosed football. Jordan Ball hits traffic on the 1-yard line, and he comes in with such force that he sort of shook the defender and allowed himself the ability to spin with 2 hands on the ball, 2 arms on the ball. Good pressure applied to avoid a fumble. Works his way in the end zone. I will call back to that you have to give these officials credit when they put out like they just did right there. That is a full court effort to get the call right. Can't say enough about that, and can't say enough about this drive that Pinkerton went through. If you're Salem, you really need to put on a good offensive time killer drive here to be able to get that defense some rest.
This one, a short one, up into the night sky, and it's going to land out of bounds and draw the attention of the officials. A penalty here for illegal procedure. As that ball lands out of bounds.
Yep.
So Coach Abraham will have some options here. He's going to sneak in a quick word with his sophomore quarterback. Again, for those interested, every Thursday we're on with our preview show, FNL Gridiron, presented by Beals Insurance. You can watch it anytime on our YouTube channel, FNL NH Media. And some good stuff from Coach Abraham last night as well. He tried to temper the expectations, play down the hype a little bit, but as we know, Steve, a lot of eyes from around the state.
Come on, Coach. Come on, Coach.
With these two teams.
Nobody he puts in a tremendous amount of work. He has got a system, as he described last night. Both these two teams have that, and that's why it's such entertaining football.
And off right side run.
He's got it.
Salkovich, and he's around the corner and into the secondary before he's upended down at about the 35-yard line. That's his 21-yard pickup for Salem, and now Colin Salkovich energizes this home crowd with 100 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
Looked like the tackler was number 29. I don't see number 29 on the roster here. We do have a roster that's about a week and a half old. I believe that's
it was 19.
Was that 19? I thought it was 29.
No, you're all right. It is 29.
Yeah, pretty sure that was 29. He's over this side now, but boy, good open field tackle, but not before a good solid drive.
Another flag here.
Those are drive killers. You have a big play, you got momentum going, you've got the defense thinking, and then you do an offensive. Assume it's a false start, and those really offsides. Defense
encroachment against the Astros. Third Pinkerton penalty.
Probably lined up. I didn't see anybody moving. He's probably lined up in the neutral zone, Nick.
As I mentioned, third Salem penalty. Astros have been mistake-free so far in that category. There's the big student section. As you can see, wearing black tonight. The Salem student section. We got a Pinkerton Road student section over here to our right as well.
Yep.
They are in neon pink and yellow construction gear. That's seemingly the theme tonight.
That inside trap is working, Nick. It's getting them through the line. He's into the secondary by 4 or 5 yards past the line of scrimmage before he's even getting picked up. And how about those two blocks, the kick-out block and the double that gets that done? If we can look at that again, watch. You're going to see the nose double right there. Then you got a kick-out block. That was kind of off-screen at that point. What a great job. Coming across the line very, very quickly.
Gain of 4 for Aiden Shikrala. And now a second down and 1 coming. Coming up on 30 seconds, opening quarter. Pinkerton with a 7-0 lead. Salem approaching the red zone. And this one just a straight-ahead keeper, I believe.
Yep.
As Mason has the first down and then some. They mark him down at the 16-yard line, able to push that pile for about 5 yards.
Boy, I really like the way this young quarterback is running this offense, Nick. This is really impressive. I love to see this because getting this kind of time is really going to – if you watch him, he's coming off the field. He just has a nice, really good tone about him. He's not affected by the moment here whatsoever.
That's the end of the first quarter here in Salem. Pinkerton on a Jordan Ball 6-yard touchdown leads Salem by a score of 7-0, but the Blue Devils are knocking. We'll find out what happens next. Second quarter on the way. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, Salem looking good on this possession. They do trail to open the second quarter by a score of 7-0. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Big early season matchup. Week 3 statewide. We'll take a look at halftime at some of the out-of-town scores, but no game perhaps bigger than this. These two teams at number 1 and number 3 in this week's New Hampshire Union Leader Power Poll. Meanwhile, Mason on a bootleg, spun out of bounds along the sideline, at about the 11-yard line. A short gain there of just 2 yards to set up a second down and 8. As Pinkerton able to force the issue near the boundary.
Yeah, you don't see that to the short side often, but the idea is they're going to be playing personnel overweighted on the long side, but Get a quick 5 yards. That's pretty good on the short side. So mission accomplished there. Steve calling a good. This is a good run. Good play calling going on here right now. They're getting it done.
On second down, straight up the middle, Salkovich.
First down.
Hit the hole hard there, and it's good enough to move the sticks. He's down to the 6-yard line.
Let's not lose sight of what's going on right now with this offensive line of the Blue Devils, Nick. They are firing out, stepping up individually on this. You're going to see they clearly win the cadence battle, which give Van Mason some credit there.
Yep.
They're winning the cadence battle, getting off early, but watch the fire. It comes off low, hard, extreme. Every guy has got that 45-degree body angle, driving small steps and winning that battle and getting body position, just like the Astros did on the previous drive. So both offensive lines doing a great job.
The Pinkerton crowd chanting defense on the road here in Salem. Mason calls his own number, straight ahead. He's close.
He's in.
And he's in for the touchdown.
What a nice drive.
That's a 6-yard score of their own. The home team puts the first points up against Pinkerton of any opponent all season. Back-to-back shutouts for the Astros to open up the campaign. But a great response by the Salem Blue Devils there, and they're within a point of tying the score.
Well, we were talking about before, there has to be a long, sustained drive to give those defensive unit a rest. Just get them off the field defensively. Even if they are playing both sides, it's a little bit of a different defense. Can get very tiring very quickly when you're out there getting pounded, having to come at you and getting pounded. That is a great job by offensive play calling, and the offensive line. Looks like we're going to have a penalty on somebody here.
Yeah, the officials tried to blow that one dead. And now we will hear from referee Chuck Robert.
You know, both of these teams, Nick, have such similarities in the way they approach getting points on the board offensively, but they have their own specific brands and how they do it.
False start against the kick team here.
Yep.
So it's going to cost Salem 5 yards.
Well, in a game like this, Nick, this point is going so quickly. This is an important point here. You don't want to lose that. Both teams are great running teams, so 2 is not out of the question in the future to make it up. But if you're Salem Blue Devils, you want this kick. He certainly has the leg, no doubt about that.
25-yarder. Ryan Bryant, the kicker, and
Oh,
another
wow,
flag.
it's getting worse. False start. No. Offsides. Okay, he was calling a false start initially. And then he...
Encroachment against Pinkerton.
Yeah, I thought he rolled his arms there first as if it was a false start. And that's going to put the ball right back with the original line of scrimmage. So
back-to-back penalties, and we're right back where we started.
that's about as quick a quarter as you're going to see in high school football.
23 minutes.
That's
from end to end.
Of course, Nick has all those figures in his bag. He's got multiple.
Well, we noticed it during the commercial. It was a quick-moving quarter. Meanwhile, this one up and good. We're tied at 7.
Yeah, you can see why Steve made the call for that field goal earlier, because he has the leg to hit a 35, 37-yarder. No question. That didn't miss by much down the other end. That one was right down the center of the upright.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, Salem, they had a chance to get on the board early, but missed on a 36-yard field goal attempt from Bryant, but not by much. Pinkerton then answered with a 70-yard touchdown drive. It was capped off by Jordan Ball inside of 2 minutes left in that first quarter. Ball, the junior, scored from 6 yards out. Extra point was good for Pinkerton, and Salem responds in the first minute of this second quarter, just 46 seconds in. Van Mason, sophomore quarterback in his first start tonight, scores from 6 yards out. That is where we are. Both teams are 2-0, and as we mentioned, two of the better programs, more successful Division I programs in the last several years under these two head coaches, Pinkerton's Brian O'Reilly and Salem's Steve Abraham.
No doubt.
On the kick.
Boy, he got a leg, Nick.
Bryant's going to drive this one down the middle. It's returned by Spellman, steps across the 20, breaks his way to the 30. He's got a second gear at the 40, makes a cut at midfield, and is finally tripped up down at the Salem 37-yard line.
He's just an impact player, Nick, no matter where he's playing. All three sides of the ball. He makes big tackles, big open field tackles. he runs the ball, opens it up on the regular offense, and on special teams, he's just he can crack the can open anytime. Now watch the choices.
Yeah, he saw the real estate, made a couple people miss, broke a couple of tackles. And then seemingly Steve is just able to keep his balance throughout the process.
No question.
Impressive stuff for Brady Spellman. A 1st and 10 for Pinkerton in Salem territory. The football just shy of the 37-yard line. This ground attack has led the way in this first half for the Astros. As McDonald yet to throw a pass. The senior going to check his left wrist. Before we see the play, we get a timeout by the Astros. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in Bedford, Londonderry, and Epping. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance. To the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. Also by TKQB Academy. Be the best QB that you can be. Call 603-732-7194 or reach out on Instagram at TKQBA. By Accurate Tree Service, because you only get one chance to take a tree down right. Visit AccurateTree.com today. Get yourself a free estimate. And finally, by Jewett Construction. Whether it's on the field or on the job site, success starts with a strong game plan. Jewett Construction, building relationships since 1972. Are you ready to build? Visit JewettConstruction.com. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. We welcome those of you watching live on our YouTube channel, FNL NH Media. And we're streaming in conjunction again tonight with Nesson Nation. 1st down and 10 for Pinkerton. 3rd possession of this first half for the Astros. They opened the game with a 3-and-out, but responded on the second drive with a 70-yard touchdown. 70-yard touchdown drive. 6-yard by Jordan Ball. Meanwhile, what happened here, Steve? They took too long to snap it?
I think so, yeah. You haven't seen anything near that in this game as far as taking too much time, but that time everything just kind of got to the line very slow. So
it's the 5th Pinkerton penalty.
Yep. And it's the ref's job to manage the game in that area. And
5 penalties, 25 penalty yards.
Yep.
For the Astros. Can't sit well with longtime head coach Brian O'Reilly.
No.
1st and 15. Spellman in motion. They hand to him, and they're going to blow this one dead. Another flag.
False start.
Well, the vast majority of these now 6 penalties have been pre-snap motion penalties.
No question about it. And been a lot for you look in the first quarter, I think there was 6 or 7 of them, Nick, and there's 2 here already. So
in total 6 penalties.
6, okay. So I wasn't too far off. But
now a 1st and 20.
Yeah. No holding calls, no personal fouls. It's pretty much been motion and sets, stuff, offsides, encroachment.
Spellman and Osanya in a split backfield as Morrison goes under center against the 4-man front. And off right side, Spellman spins in the hole to the 2nd, 3rd level before he's tripped up at the 33-yard line. 15-yard gain on a flash run.
Yeah, he's lethal.
Spellman off to a great start in this first quarter at a 42-yard long run to set up the Astros score in the first quarter.
Picked up a couple really good blocks at the line of scrimmage, and then the spin move releases himself from the defender, and off he goes. He just covers so much ground with a couple strides, Nick, and he just runs low and tunneling, very difficult to bring down because of the form in which he runs. Good forward lean all the time.
And off, Spellman again. This time, his luck runs out. It's Caden Alsop, one of those talented defensive linemen for the Blue Devils.
Nice
makes the stop. Alsop, the junior. Going to force a 3rd down and 7 with 2 minutes gone in this second quarter. We're still tied at 7.
This crowd
chanting defense here at Grant Field.
There's nothing here, Nick.
An electric atmosphere, 2 big student sections. Good turnout for the Astros coming over from Derry. Short ride up Route 28, or down Route 28.
The kind of rivalry a region really, really can appreciate and enjoy, with so many of them here in southern New Hampshire football. It's
3rd and 7. McDonald keeps it himself, runs around the edge, and is very close to a first down.
I'm pretty sure he has it.
Stepping out of bounds near the marker.
They went back a little bit, but boy, you just saw quarterback that I can't say enough of. This guy just manages a football game so well on the offensive side of the ball. We talked about it with Coach O'Reilly last night on our Gridiron show Thursday nights, and Thursday late afternoon at 5:30. Tune in, folks. You'll just see Coach O'Reilly talking about this young guy and how he just listens to everything from the coaching staff and delivers it on the field. He just manages a game extremely well, and then on top of that, he got that running ability. He runs. Looks like they're going to give him the first down. It was very close. Thought he had it.
They're moving the chains. It is a first down.
They're going to move the chains, yep. But again, Aiden can fire a ball. Let me tell you, when you decide that you want to do a play action pass, because they see got too many guys stacking the box, this guy can fire it downfield. He's got all the tools.
Coach O'Reilly trusts him with the run there on third. Left side, Osanya cuts his way across the line of scrimmage before he's down inside the 30-yard line.
It's a good defensive job by the Blue Devils as well, Nick.
Alsup with his second tackle. They give Osanya the 25-yard line.
A weaker team doesn't make that tackle. He gets outside with a guy like Osanya. And they just are doing all the right things, hanging on to whatever, and the help was on the way immediately. And they were able to minimize that to like a 3.5-yard versus a touchdown, because there was nobody back there if he broke loose from that tackle.
3 minutes in, second quarter. Pinkerton looking for the red zone here on 1st down and 10. The football is at the 24-yard line officially. McDonald looks left, crouches under center, faces a 7-man box, hands to Spellman, right side, and he is sniffed out by Shikrala. Great job there on the diagnosis by the junior. Got him from behind.
Yep.
And that's a loss of about 3 yards to set up now a 2nd down and 9 officially. 3rd down and 9.
I also don't have and he just beat him. He beat him in the backfield. And this is the sort of defensive slicing and body getting separation from the offensive line and being able to push him back into the running lane. That's just a one-man show right there. What a terrific job.
Meanwhile, another flag.
This is getting very tight. Something is going on consistently they got to work out, because they've had, fortunately, some really good runs to get them out of that penalty trouble and that long yardage. But as you get down into the red zone, you usually don't have that kind of space to defend, and it gets harder and harder to do that. So they really got to clean this up early, because it looks to me, Nick, like we're going to see this type of situation all game, where these offensives are going to do what they do best and pound the football until somebody can stop them.
So another 5-yard penalty against Pinkerton. 3rd and 9 turns into 3rd and 14. And again, the crowd calling for defense. Well, Pinkerton scored first. Tail end of that first quarter, a 6-yard touchdown run by former Londonderry standout Jordan Ball. Salem able to tie the game with a 6-yard quarterback keeper from Van Mason. Now the Astros, despite penalty trouble in this first half, with the football, but seeking the 18-yard line to keep the drive going. Michoud on his first carry.
Defended well.
Is tackled. Can't find the edge. Rice and Michoud.
That is just
Shikrala
well defended.
And company are waiting for him. They stop him down at the 31-yard line.
Well, what do they train you? You've got to stay home. You have to let the play develop before you start taking shots down on the backside. What happens is they stayed home. Look at this contain containment here. Number 5 right there, nowhere to go. Good team tackling. That's a big response to a big play attempt by the Astros.
Caden Alsop putting together a pretty good first half.
Yeah.
Was in there on the action there at the edge. So a timeout again is called here 5 minutes into this second quarter. And a fourth down and officially 13 coming up for Pinkerton.
And overall, Nick, I think the score 7-7 accurately resembles the play that's actually happened out in the field to a T. Both teams got some motion stuff they got to clean up. They're all amped up. I mean, they get up to the line. Everybody's just feeling it. And, this is a backup sophomore quarterback that the Blue Devils have, Nick, right now out of that football field. And the maturity that he has shown so far in this game shows he was ready all along, and he just doesn't seem to get rattled as a sophomore. That bodes very, very well for the future.
Reminder, tomorrow we've got our first Saturday game of the season to cover.
Yeah.
As we take the band up north.
See a little color.
A Division II battle between Plymouth and Trinity.
Love it.
2 shortlist contenders in Division II. We get the party started at about 12:45 ahead of that 1 o'clock kickoff. Again, Trinity at Plymouth tomorrow, live at 1 o'clock here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire.
That's going to be a great battle with 2 great teams, 2 great traditions.
Fourth down. 4th and 13. McDonald out of the gun.
Nice move.
Has to scramble to his right. Throws off the back leg into the end zone. And incomplete, trying to find Osanya in the back corner. So the Salem defense holds their own. The game is still tied at 7. And the Blue Devils will bring the offense out 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line.
Nick, you just saw right there Aiden McDonald running full speed. That was all right arm right there, and that was a 42-yard pass that he threw on a line. That ball was thrown with a tremendous amount of velocity. He threw it to the open spot in the corner of the end zone. Osanya got turned the wrong way, unfortunately for Pinkerton, because that would have been a touchdown if he had opened the other way.
So back to work for Van Mason, the sophomore. Look good. He's going to roll out.
Look at that.
And he's going to throw over the middle. Catch made. And hit immediately after the reception is Jack Marconi.
We got a player down, Nick. He took a wicked hit.
Full speed collision at the 48-yard line.
And it was kind of blind, but it wasn't. It did not appear to be a headshot. It looked like the right side, and he is. You can always tell when those legs are swaying back and forth. He's in a lot of pain. But let me tell you, opening to the weak side, we certainly are hoping and waiting for him to get up on his feet. But this young quarterback opened Nick to the weak side up. That's so thankful for that. He took a shot. I don't blame him. I'm not surprised after that, but probably got the wind knocked out of him. Usually in that sort of situation, it looks as though,
Well, mission accomplished for the senior Jack Marconi to hang on to the football there. Again, that was at full speed.
Look at this short side. Look at this form that he's throwing the ball. I know.
A gutsy catch by the senior.
I know Trevor Knight would approve of that form right there, Nick.
I would
that
say
was
so.
Well done. This young guy is a sophomore. He's really impressive.
Trevor Knight, founder of the TKQB Academy and one of our new sponsors here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Former standout at both Nashua South and the University of New Hampshire. Approaching the midway point, second quarter. And a left side run here on 1st and 10 won't produce much. Jordan Ball in the area on the stop for Pinkerton. Also, Sonia, he's always in the area over there. AJ Scholes, he was at the bottom of that pile too. So we've seen really good gang tackling both ways.
We have both teams. Both these defenses, Nick, are top level grade in Division I here. They'll wonder they're 2-0. They're going to win a lot of football games this year. But Osanya is always on his assignment, without a doubt.
Another rollout on 2nd and 7. This time Mason going to tuck and run. And he is decleated near the first down marker. And that's going to draw a penalty flag.
Yeah, I believe it was a high forearm hit, Nick. And it wasn't like he was in a crouch. He was fully stood up in that situation. and they're going to always protect the quarterback in that situation. They're going to have a discussion with head official Chuck Roberts, and look to me like both officials are agreeing with that call. We'll see what Chuck decides to do with it. But unless there was something different that we missed, you're going to see it right here.
Yeah. Personal foul, the official call. Well, that's a fine line because as a defender, the heat of the moment, full speed.
I think the call was
They
made.
want him to get low, I get it, but it's tough to sometimes control your body in that
You're
moment.
100% right, Nick, but when the quarterback is standing straight up, the whole body is wide open there to tackle. In that particular situation, the forearms came up high and just kind of clotheslined him. I have to say I understand the call, and you got to stay away from the head. And I don't know if you would disagree or not, but that's...
Well, the Astro fans certainly disagree. There's a few of them right below us here in the press box.
Yeah, a quarterback is protected in the NFL beyond the measure. I think it's gone maybe a little too much the other way. Some of that's money related. In this particular situation, these officials have got to lean on the side of protecting the head and the head all the time.
Well, meanwhile, there's a development here. We got a penalty now against Salem. So first, a 15-yarder against A.J. Scholes of Pinkerton, then a procedure penalty for Salem. So all in all, a first down and 15 as we approach the 5-minute mark. Second quarter. Second effort and a good somersault end of the run by Aiden Shikrala, who has been busy both ways for Salem in this first half.
He got it. They got it. They're going to throw that flag on
Pinkerton.
Pinkerton.
A number of flags are going to come after the play.
Yeah, what happened was the play kind of stopped, and there was a Blue Devil player. I can't see it on this lovely replay, but he pushed him from the back, the Pinkerton player, but it's always the second guy that retaliates back that gets the call. I think you probably have seen that on camera there. So what happens is he's going to get that call. So unless they're going to be calling the first, they may have seen the first. I don't know.
Conversation continues. Our referee, Chuck Robert.
Honestly, Nick, it looked like 2 infractions there, but the second one was called.
It's against Pinkerton. Second personal foul of the drive against the Astros in what has been
It's a big one.
A penalty-filled first half.
Yeah.
So this puts the ball in the red zone. First down at the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. As Salem threatening to take their first lead of the night. We approach 5 minutes to go, second quarter. Van Mason, who has looked good so far.
This is getting unbelievable.
He's going to take another look at the line of scrimmage, see another penalty flag, and it's encroachment against the Astros.
Nick, this is just 2 teams that are jacked up for this game, and they are trying to grab every little inch they possibly can. And Nick just flashed me the 10 figure. So there are 10 motion penalties alone?
No, 10 total penalties now.
There's got to be 8 or 9
against
of them motion, right? There's a personal foul there obviously included as well.
2 personal fouls on
8.
the drive.
Yeah.
And now a defensive encroachment call is going to put the football inside the 10-yard line.
Wow.
1st and 5 from the 9-yard line. And it's a quarterback sneak. Mason, who scored this way earlier in the second quarter, gets down to the 5-yard line on a 4-yard carry.
Not questioning that Van Mason is a sophomore, but if you look at the frame, he doesn't look like a sophomore. He looks, and that is really going to say a lot. If he's got 2 more years of physiological development plus maturity, wow. Coach Abraham's got to be pretty pleased about what he's seeing, and I'm sure has a hand in it as well from a coaching staff that's been together for a long time.
Right.
They certainly have done their job with this young man. Look at him, just the way he goes up to the line with such poise. 2nd
down and 2. Pinkerton threatening a blitz. They go right at it with Beaudry up the middle. And is he in on a second effort?
Yep.
And the officials going to mark him short.
He could have hit his knee.
He's down just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, he must have had his knee down before he turned it into the end zone, I guess. But like I say,
needed 6, got 5. So Pinkerton, they're really going to have to knuckle up now. There's barely an inch between the tip of the football and the goal line. Mason under center. He may call his own number. He does. Leans forward, but does not get in.
No.
Astros with a cement wall. Caruso down there. Scholes.
Good
and
defense.
Jordan Ball all combining there for the stop.
Doesn't surprise me. Jordan Ball is a strong football player, and that whole defensive line of Pinkerton did a great job. That's literally on the inches line.
Right.
And they got off the ball extremely well. But some of that is really intense, fierce, attitude on the defensive line. That's where some of those encroachment and penalties come. But right here, they broke through, and he gets in.
Right side run, touchdown Salem. Colin Solkovitz protects the football and they kind of tumbles into the end zone to give the Blue Devils their first lead of the night.
They sent Brady on Spellman on a blitz, Nick, and he wasn't far off, but he just, the last second, he just cuts inside, which you'll see, and Brady made the choice. He almost had it. And give the Blue Devils offensive line, play calling, quarterback play, running back, the way that the running backs are playing. 2 really solid drives in a row here for the Blue Devils.
Ryan Bryant trying to go 2 for 2 on the extra point attempts.
No
and
good.
This one no good. It fades right.
Yeah, these are the little things in these games, Nick. With 2 teams like this that can come back to haunt you later, you want that extra point.
So 13-7 Salem.
Yeah, we got ourselves a football game here.
How about a 69-yard drive?
Yep.
Most of that on the ground.
Yep.
But as you said, orchestrated cleanly by the sophomore quarterback, Van Mason.
This guy is really, when we found out it was going to be a new quarterback, of course, and a sophomore, you think yourself, well, they're going to have to do this for this is a really impressive performance by this young man so far in the first half. By the way, it's 3:10 left. That's about a 7-minute drive right there, if I'm not mistaken. That is a clock killer, and it's great for the Blue Devil defense, Nick, because they're on the field. The Pinkerton defense has been on the field in the second quarter for probably 75-80% of it. So,
that's a defense that did not yield a point over the first 2 weeks of the season. Back-to-back shutout wins for Pinkerton to open the campaign. Salem, of course, 2-0 after wins at Concord and against Alvern. This one is going to dribble into the end zone, results in a touchback. So Coach O'Reilly will take the football at the Pinkerton 20. Still with, I believe, 2 timeouts to work with. Yes, 2 timeouts.
2 timeouts. Yep, you're right.
For Coach O'Reilly. 3:10 on the clock for Aiden McDonald to work with.
While we get a moment, to all the people that were involved, the taxpayers all the way up to the people that did the work, to all of the administration of the school district, and the work that was put into putting this new field on here. I mean, I'm really blown away by it. Looks like this whole facility was designed just the way it was at one time, and to come in and do the job, the planning that was done in this thing, and the beauty when you look out at this complex, Nick, is absolutely terrific.
Here is an absolutely terrific run. It's Spellman, and he's off to the races into Salem territory and down to the 34-yard line.
Impact player. Coach O'Reilly said it last night. He just does it in all 3 phases of the game. His ability to choose a lane. Is there a flag out there?
Nope.
No, okay.
Just adding up the yardage. How about 48 for Spellman, who has been a big play highlight factory in this first half.
Look at that. Look at the way he reads his blocks, slides his body sideways to knife through the the very narrow hole that's provided. The upfield blocking, not just Brady. It is Brady. But the blocking that's going on Pinkerton Astros special teams kick return is absolutely outstanding.
Play action. McDonald over the middle, and that one overthrown incomplete to bring up a 2nd down and 10. We haven't seen McDonald throw too many passes. Remember, we spoke with Coach O'Reilly last night. He reminded us last year in this game that was won by Salem.
Yep.
Pinkerton threw the ball 36 times.
Yep.
McDonald only 2 attempts, I believe, so far in this first half.
Right. But they've been successful in the run. It's the penalties that have really hurt their drives there, Nick.
Yes.
But they've been able to work some good runs as well, and they're off to a great start with a Brady Spellman kick return here. We'll see what they can do on second down.
That was a play from scrimmage.
It was.
That 48-yard run.
Yep.
Here's Osanya, right side. He stood up in the hole.
Yeah, this defense has been well rested, Nick, for a long, long time. And as I said earlier, just because that offense they play on offense as well, it doesn't tire you out in the same way. They're getting battered, on defense on the field all the time. So this Blue Devil defense is fresh, and they showed it right there.
James Nelson with the stop. And now a 3rd down and 9. Inside of 2 minutes until halftime. Coming up at halftime, stats, highlights, analysis.
I don't know if we get a picture of Van Mason.
Out-of-town scoreboard, and we've got the bands as well, both bands set to perform here.
Good ones. Van Mason pacing back and forth behind the group. Stops for a minute, then starts pacing again.
He's hoping his teammates can come up with a stop here.
He wants to get out there.
It's McDonald on the rollout, going to throw.
He's got him.
Down the field.
What a throw!
And the catch is made, but nope, he's in. Touchdown.
He's in. No doubt about it.
Touchdown, Noah Rayo. He's able to beat everybody on that over-the-top throw, on time and on target. Rayo ties the game, and now Pinkerton with 1:30 to go before the break with a chance to take the lead.
I said it last year. I'll say it this year. This guy has special qualities to me, Nick, that should create an environment where he gets some looks at the next level, because I just think his arm strength is incredible as a senior, and the way he rolls out and his vision downfield to know where the open space is. Even on the missed one to Osanya, he threw it to exactly the right spot, 42 yards. This guy is special. And don't be surprised over the course of the season that Coach O'Reilly knows already that his quarterback has the ability to throw more. And he realized there that they're starting to stop the run. They're starting to get this good coaching coming down from the upstairs box, telling him, look, these guys are starting in. We believe we can get one of our receivers by him. Look at that beautiful pass, beautiful reception, beautiful pass route run by who was that caught the ball?
That was Rayo, former Londonderry Lancer. It's been a big night for former Londonderry Stars. Ball and now Rayo, they both score here in this first half, but the McDonald throw was pretty across the body there, and on target in the back of the end zone. Dropped it in the bucket.
I don't care where you're looking. If you want to fight, he's got the height, he's got the body mass, he's got the speed. He doesn't have 4.1 speed, but he's got the speed to get around the corner. You can consider him. He extends plays like he did right there. He reads the pocket really well. A lot of good stuff going on being delivered to him on the coaching side, but there's also a tremendous amount of natural reception of that coaching and application of it on the field, and an arm strength that's just unbelievable.
A 31-yard touchdown toss, McDonald to Rayo. Extra point good, and Pinkerton has a 14-13 lead after the rapid response. Takes just 1:40 to answer the touchdown.
What an effort.
Meanwhile, Salkovich, not sure he planned on returning that one, takes it off the bounce and makes the best of a bad situation up to the 15-yard line. Salem with a 1st and 10 with $1:23 to go.
If you're Pinkerton and the Blue Devils, you got to be happy if you're Pinkerton. You're up by a point in this game, and your time of possession has probably been around 35% at best, honestly. And that is just a quarterback and a play call from the sidelines and putting together that in a matter of less than about a minute and a half, they were able to score. So
100 seconds.
100 seconds. That was close.
All right. Can they do it now in 83 seconds is the question here. As Salem, from their own end, starts a new series. 1st and 10, handoff up the middle. And it's Shakrala, who's across the 20 before he's stopped by Caruso at the 21.
So you look at this situation here with Shakrala. What's he do? He receives the handoff. He knows that there's a lot of traffic. Slice his way through, and what does he do? The whole time is about ball security, especially when you're in your own end.
5-yard gain, 2nd down and 5. Final 50 seconds. And another
Yeah.
quick hitter here, not going to produce much.
Well, that was somebody bleeding through the offensive line, Nick, and getting into the backfield as the snap was coming.
That may have been Braden Connolly of Pinkerton.
Yeah, that was a heck of a if that was Braden, that was a heck of a slice. Those are the things that now you're in your third instead of second, Nick. You didn't get any yardage. Actually, you lost a yard and a half.
Lost a yard, yeah.
Yep, and that's a big play right there. You don't think about it later on. Then you watch the film and realize these things can have an impact later if the Blue Devils can't score.
Down to 15 seconds here. 3rd down and 5. Mason on the quarterback keeper. Can't escape the backfield.
Pinkerton's defense getting it done.
Wrapped up and spun down, and now the clock is going to stop with 5.8 seconds as we get a timeout, I believe, from Coach O'Reilly.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing all of the wood, Nick. They're chopping trees down and pushing and felling them the right way. It's a defensive swarm, all about we're going to give you everything we have. We're gonna lean out the defensive backfield, and we're going to throw everything at you to bring you back in. It's very successful so far. To go into halftime, if this is the way this thing's at halftime, and you're Coach O'Reilly and staff, you got to be pretty pleased where you're at this point in the game, and beginning to even and maybe grab a little momentum at this point as we go into halftime.
Of course, Salem is set to receive.
Yes,
to open up
they'll
the
have
third quarter.
They'll have their opportunity to reclaim that. But
got to be careful here if you're the Blue Devils. 4th down and 11. The football spotted at the 15-yard line. Both Rice and Mishu and Brady Spellman are back deep for Pinkerton. But not too deep. They're both inside the Salem 40-yard line. Bryant from his own goal line. Punch this one high in the sky. It's going to drift to the near side and land just out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Well,
2.4 seconds remaining,
yeah,
so
but
still time for at least one play here.
Exactly, Nick. You got Aiden McDonald's arm there. You can throw 5 guys in the end zone. If some way he can scramble and get to open space and buy some time, that could be a very costly kick. So
got the hang time, just no real drive to it.
No distance.
Ends up floating out of bounds. They kill a little more than 3 seconds in the end.
But it was always going to be one play anyway, so they've got an opportunity to put it in the end zone.
Well, they're going to try and kick here.
Wow.
This would be a 43-yarder.
Not if they got the leg and have done it in practice, Nick. It's pretty still out there tonight. I don't see any breeze out there, so they wouldn't be doing this if he didn't have the distance and shown that at least before. Big point in the game here.
Yeah. Trying to extend the lead. Kick is up. It's got the leg.
It's good.
It is good.
Wow.
He sneaks it through the left uprights.
Very, very costly punt there, Nick. Very costly. Now you're going in 17-13. Wow.
Able to drill that one.
This game has a little bit of everything in it so far, Nick. Long passes into the end zone, running drives.
That's John Pappas, the veteran kicker. The senior, plenty of leg there, Steve.
Nick, that could have gone 49 yards.
It could have. So special teams really impacting things both ways at the end of the first half.
Well said, yes. Hey, if you're going to watch the film after this game, special teams have played a huge part, to your point, Nick, in this game. And
43-yard field goal, that's pretty lengthy for a high school game.
And then, of course, even when you miss a field goal, that's an impact from special teams as well. So positive and negative, special teams have, to a great degree, ruled the scoring elements of this game. And a lot of these drives that are scoring come from either Brady Spellman running the ball all the way down into the 35-yard line of Blue Devils, and then Ian throws a pass in a minute and 35 seconds. They're in the end zone to go ahead by a point. More special teams with a punt. This is going to be an interesting. Shirtley's been a very interesting first half. A lot of motion penalties, to your point. Some personal fouls in the game. It's got a little bit of everything, in the crock pot is so far. Going to be
fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll recap the whole thing along with Stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard, busy week 3. Not up here in the booth.
Tremendous band.
But down there on the field, where our focus will be for the next 18 or so minutes, as both school bands set to perform here,
And can they
starting
ever
with
entertain?
Pinkerton. All right, lot to get to. We step aside. 17-13, Astros leading Salem at the half. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Maybe it's leaning too close to your home. Maybe it's not healthy. Or maybe you just don't like it there. No matter what the reason is, if you need tree work or pruning, call Accurate Tree Service. They have the right equipment and expertise to properly diagnose, treat, or remove trees, no matter how difficult the terrain. Perhaps simple, careful pruning by our certified arborist is all you need to manage your trees and shrubs. When it comes to your tree care, contact the full-service tree care experts today. Accurate Tree Service, because you only get one chance to take a tree down right.
Are you a quarterback who is ready to take your game to the next level? Well, then it's time to join TKQB Academy. Founded by former UNH standout Trevor Knight, TKQB Academy has worked with student athletes from around New England, helping young quarterbacks to reach their full potential. TKQB Academy offers one-on-one and group sessions that will help you instantly improve your accuracy, timing, mechanics, and footwork. So be the best QB you can be at TKQB Academy. Call 603-732-7194 or reach out on Instagram at TKQBA. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field for tonight's halftime performance, your Salem High School Blue Devil Marching Band. That band is under the direction of Mr. Michael O'Connor, with visual designer Carl Sarf and visual technician Peter Correa. The color guard director Angela Kuwa. Color guard staff Tiffany and Alexis wrote both of Rob Godin, Heidi Barnes, and Karen White. Percussion director Leah Dunbar and percussion staff Meg O'Brien and Allie Ross. Your color guard captains are Chloe McSheehy and Evelyn Regano. Percussion captains are Aiden Forbes, Maya Marconia, and Zaylee Melendez. Your drum majors are Justin Baldridge and Ali Crowley. Tonight's show is entitled X Marks the Spot and features music by Raymond Stanridge. Join us in our adventure across the high seas as we search for a hidden treasure and create a treasure map on the field. Drum majors Justin Partridge and Allie Crowley. Is the band ready? You may take the field. Ladies and gentlemen, the Salem High Blue Devil Marching Band. Once again, the Salem Blue Devil marching band. Thank you.
All right, we're back here in Salem. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Start of the third quarter. Pinkerton leading Salem 17-13 here at week number 3 after a wild first half. The Astros got on the board first with a 6-yard touchdown run late in the first quarter. Jordan Ball, the transfer from Londonderry, put the Astros in front 7-0, and that was our score after one. Then Salem, touchdowns on back-to-back drives to start the second. Sophomore quarterback Van Mason in his first start tonight, 6-yard touchdown, tied the game at 7. With just outside of 3 minutes, Colin Salkovich, a 1-yard touchdown run. Extra point try missed, 13-7 Salem. Then the Astros, they scored 10 points in 90 seconds, the final 90 seconds of that second quarter. Aiden McDonald on a 3rd and 9. Hooked up with former Lancer Noah Real on a 31-yard touchdown pass. The extra point from John Pappas gave the Astros the lead. And then in the final seconds, Salem forced to punt from deep in their own end. Punt goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line with less than 3 seconds. That was enough time for John Pappas to convert on a 43-yard field goal as time expired, pushing Pinkerton's lead up to 17-13, Steve, and that is where we are to begin this third quarter. Salem is set to receive the opening kick.
If this was time of possession, points per time possession, it'd be 24-12, the Blue Devils. But that doesn't always work that way, and it isn't in this game, and it's some big plays. Those points on the, which went from 14 to 17, was on a botched, for all intents and purposes, a botched punt that only gave him about 5 or 7, maybe 8 yards. And then a 43, as you said earlier, Nick, a 43-yard field goal right before the half ends, which puts Pinkerton up 17-13. They got to be pretty happy having penalties that range up to 75 yards against them to be in this position right now. And I think that Brady Spellman so many. Brady Spellman's just 70 yards or so on kickoff returns, and then 123, 8 yards rushing as well. Is really put racked off some big yardage at critical times, even though the time of possession is probably down 2/3 anyway in favor of the Blue Devils. And here we are. You just never know how these games go. But Blue Devils get the football and have shown that they can drive the ball down to Pinkerton just like Pinkerton can drive the ball down the field against the Blue Devils, Nick. I mean, this is just two running teams that do it extremely well. But like I said, Blue Devils get the ball to open up here in the second half. It's very important, I think, for them to make a statement early in the third quarter to try to change momentum back a little bit that originally was in their favor most of the game. Coach O'Reilly cannot be happy about the amount of penalties that they took there.
As you mentioned, 11 total for 75 yards, 3 against Salem in that first half for only 15.
Can that guy?
This one bounces just into the end zone. Another powerful kick from the senior John Pappas. And Salem will take it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Some of the numbers unofficially from that first half. That was Brady Spellman, the junior running back for Pinkerton, who led everybody on the ground. 9 carries, 127 yards. Included 2 runs of over 40 yards in that first half. Salem, they really spread the ball around. Coach Abraham told us last night, committee approach again this year. That seems to be the case. 6 carries for Aiden Shikrala, the high man, to touch it in that first half, but only 19 yards as the junior was pretty well contained. Here is a pitch near side. This is Jordan Zanini trying to find the boundary. Tackled inbounds just shy of the 25-yard line. A 4-yard pickup for the senior to set up 2nd and 6. Good stop out of the secondary there by Rayson Michaud, who has been busy.
Brady, it was number 29 that made the tackle.
That's, of course, Brady Normile.
Yeah, and boy, that was a great fill right there.
And Normile, a couple of stops tonight. He's looked good. This is a Pinkerton defense that pitched back-to-back shutouts to open the season in wins over Windham and Central. Speaking of Central, Steve, I've got a score coming up that might catch your attention.
Huh?
2nd down and 6, and it's a misdirection play. Shikrala able to roll his way up near the 1st down marker. Across the 30, they'll give it to him.
Yeah, there's 24.
Spellman with a tackle, a 7-yard pickup for Shikrala.
He just checks in, Nick, every single play of the game. He's making
Steve,
something happen.
Last week it was Concord that made headlines statewide with that upset win over Londonderry. Right now, late in the third quarter, Concord trailing Manchester Central 6-0 as the Little Green look for their first win of the season.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So just when you thought you figured out the landscape in Division One, think again.
So it makes
Meanwhile,
it fun.
good hole here as Salkovich is wrestled down at about the 35-yard line.
By Brady Spellman. Have we heard that name on the tackle before?
Back-to-back stops now for the junior.
He's becoming a household word here at Grant Stadium as he just checks in everything. He is so amped up in this football game. He just plays like a leader. We saw it last year, Nick. But right now, this is a big game for both of these teams. I don't care what anybody says. This is a
only week 3, but again, a matchup
game
between really 2 of the best 3 teams in Division One, at least if you believe the New Hampshire Union leader power poll. Meanwhile, a timeout here is called by Salem. Just over 2 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Something not sitting right there with Coach Abraham.
Yeah, I think Coach Abraham, with his experience in coaching football, is very aware of how significant this possession is. To set the tone, he wants to make sure that if we're gonna go for it, everything's got to be in line. I think he's trying to. My guess is he's telling his football team right now, guys, it's right here, right now. We've got to put together a drive of slow, steady, moving the chains. Own the third quarter is the order of business right now, and I think he's just making sure these guys know what their responsibilities are, taking full tilt, full time on every single play. because if you don't, you can wind up being in trouble. Down 17-13, kind of lost, had momentum, but lost at in the end of the second quarter there, and they got to take it back right now. So it's costly to take a timeout for that, but I think the gravity of where this point is in the game constitutes that.
2nd down and 7 from their own 35-yard line. It's a 5-man front for Pinkerton. They're going to bring 6 here on a blitz. Run up the middle.
Yeah, that trap's been working for them all game.
Yeah, across the 40 to about the 42-yard line, close to a first down. 3rd and short coming up. Another carry for Jacob Beaudry. And they're actually going to give him the first down. Needed 7, he gets 7. And a fresh set of downs for Salem. Some other scores, Steve. Big matchup tonight. Londonderry trying to bounce back from that loss. They trail at the half against Exeter, 14-8. That game at Lancer Park at halftime.
We knew it would be tight.
Bedford at halftime, trailing out of state Thornton Academy by a score of 7-0.
Wow, another encroachment. Didn't mean to interrupt, Nick. Another encroachment call. Lining up in the neutral zone again by Pinkerton. This has become
a problem.
Real problem here. And thinking about it now it's 1st and 5 rather than 1st and 10. Go ahead, Nick, with the score. Sorry.
Elsewhere in Division I, North with a 10-6 lead over Merrimack to begin the 4th quarter. Tomahawks looking for their first win. North trying to stay undefeated. Dover leading Winnicott 6-0 at halftime.
Those East games, it's nobody cares about records. Everything just comes together in those games.
A lot of surprising scores so far tonight in Division I. Meanwhile, Shikrala tiptoes up to the 50.
Yeah, I had the edge there. Chose to cut inside, but it was the wrong move. Probably should have stayed outside there, Nick. Looked to me like he had the corner. He's a good runner, though. He's shown that on big times and big moments, he's been able to get the job done.
Down in Division II, Manchester West. No problem against Conval, 27-6. Still 2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
It's just from the head coach all the way down, Nick. Manchester West, let's face it, they got it going on. That is a program to be reckoned with in Division II right now.
Hoping to improve to 3-0 with a win tonight. On 2nd down and 2, Zanini looking for the corner, spins his way down to the Astro 45.
First down, though.
And is stopped inbounds after a pickup there of a 5-yard variety. Meanwhile, there's an Astro shaken up. Trying to get you the number, but one of the defenders still down for Pinkerton. So an official's timeout here with 3.5 gone by in this 3rd quarter. Astros still holding a 17-13 lead. You see that 5-yard pickup by Zanini. He had a 20-yard catch, Steve, in that first quarter. But on the ground, Pinkerton's held him in check. 3 carries, 4 yards in the first half. Rips off a 5-yard run there, but again, the Astro was shaken up.
This roster is missing about.
I've got Aiden King, Steve, the senior defensive lineman, on his feet, but clearly still a little shaken as he heads to the sideline.
Yep. He is walking with, he's pointing to his thigh, Nick, as he comes off, and he just made a gesture like he was just cut from the side. So he is walking on his own. My guess is he's going to have a bad bruise, but
good to see.
But look good to see him walk off.
1st and 10 from the Pinkerton 45-yard line. Mason under center, handoff left side. This is Beaudry trying to find a little bit of wiggle room to his left. Gets down to about the 42 after a 3-yard pickup.
You're going to see here, there's one thing about Aiden Shikrala. He's not a selfish player. He's not afraid to do his job when it's blocking time, and you're going to see it right here. It gets a nice kick out, opens it up, gets in the defender's way, and that's what that cut inside is, how it's designed, and able to get that 1st and 4, 1st and 5, 1st and 3.5.
2nd down and 7.
But he's willing to do his blocking as well.
4 minutes gone, 3rd quarter. Good
what a fake
here. It's Mason around the corner. Spins his way inside the 35-yard line. The ball came out, but it's going to stay with Salem. As the ball was jolted loose, but landed, I believe, out of bounds.
Out of bounds, I believe. That's what they're going to call, but not to the... Brady is signaling that...
Colin Gearing on the stop. He may have poked it out. Your linebacker for Pinkerton. They're going to give him the first down. So a 7-yard run in the end is the result for Salem.
Good communication here, Nick, we've seen between the officials. Anytime you have a call that's on the margin, somebody's going to be happy, somebody isn't. But what you do look for is good communication between the officials to come to a consensus, and we're seeing that tonight.
So Mason gets a first down, gets back under center. Takes the snap, does hand it off. Zanini left side, doesn't have much room.
Jake, great collapse there by the defensive unit between the line running out to cover the off tackle. The outside linebackers coming in to fill. Safety's coming up. That's just a good penetration by them and built a wall to. That may have been a loss, Nick.
Yeah, loss of one for Zanini.
Loss of one, yeah.
Caruso credited with tackle number 3.
Yeah, where we heard that name enough in this game. Always checking in, even when you don't call his number. You look on film what he does behind the scenes. He makes everybody better around him. He's the whole deal.
Of course, his older brother was a stud as well.
It's in the blood.
The recently graduated
what a
Anthony
hit.
Caruso. Meanwhile, trying to scrape out some room, refusing to go down, but only a yard in the end to set up 3rd down and 10.
Pinkerton defense playing real deal football here, and they are coming up. They're coming up in a swarm. They're reading very, very well right now. Looked like Salem had a little, running, getting chunks of 4 and 5 and 6 yards. But these last 2 plays, here it is 3rd down and 9. Great job by the Pinkerton group up front. And the defensive linebackers, we were talking to Pete Tarrier from Sports Page last night, and he was talking about the linebacker core of Pinkerton, and we're seeing that tonight to be the case.
Can the Astros get a stop here? 3rd down and 9. Right side run. Solkovich going to lean his way down to about the 32. Nowhere near the first down.
Yeah, these are some aggressive defensive play calls by the Astros staff, Nick, and it's paying off for them. At some point here, Coach Abraham, as he probably will, is going to have to look at rolling this young quarterback out. He's shown that he can get the job done.
May see it here on 4th and 8.
But you may see it here on 4th and 8 because the running game has pretty been stacked at the line of scrimmage or more or less.
No.
And this young quarterback has shown he can do it. I understand the apprehension. But,
first down stick is at the 25-yard line. 4th down and 8.
He does.
Mason under center. Takes the snap, runs to his left, trying to throw, and it's incomplete.
Yep, the runner
looking down the sideline for Brody Longton, the junior, but incomplete. So a 6+ minute drive to open this 3rd quarter.
Well,
Salem comes away empty. The Astros will take over with their 17-13 lead still on the board.
Yeah, tough situation there. He stopped his route. He can't throw it to him because he's got a defender waiting right there to intercept the ball. So if you complete the play, you don't just stand there and wait for a defender to come up. You just do a go route. You just go for the corner, and that's kind of what Mason was doing right there. So it just took a long time to get that pass off. Looked like there was a rush he needed to step aside and avoid, and that was just took the timing off of it.
1st and 10 Pinkerton. Back to work for Spellman. 127 yards in that first half, and he's going to add 11 more here.
He's a bull.
As he works his way up to the Pinkerton 45-yard line, an 11-yard pickup, and another Astro first down.
I've said it 10 times over the last couple of years. He just runs so low with that forward lean. Certain runners have the ability to have that forward lean, and they just they open up tiny little holes. They knife their way through. And the speed and acceleration at which he turns upfield, Nick, makes it very difficult for defensive backs to tackle him. And when he's running with that forward lean, you've really got to get down low to bring him down.
Osanya's turn.
Nice move.
Bounces left side, absorbs a tackle along the boundary, and works his way for another Astro first down. He's down to the Salem 40 on a 15-yard gain. Osanya with an angry run there to move the sticks.
You're seeing Coach Brian O'Reilly football right there. That's what he loves. That's what he feels good about doing in a game, and no wonder why. He said last night on our Gridiron program, Nick, he says, if you just keep able to run it successfully and protect the football, why don't you just keep on doing it till it stops? I couldn't agree with that more.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you're not out there to show your whole repertoire every game. It's not a performance in that way. It's about winning a football game with the best and safest strategy possible. Here we go.
First and 10, Spellman hit in the backfield, but second effort. It's going to get him a positive result across the 40 down to the 39 for a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Pinkerton offensive line right now dictating the tone, delivering it. Great cadence calls here by Aiden McDonald. He's always been outstanding at producing and giving his offensive line the type of cadence calls that gets them off the ball quickly. Of course, they practice it till it's tireless, practicing of getting off the football. They're doing it right now, and no penalties on this drive so far, Nick.
2nd and 8.
Pulling
Spellman
guard
around the corner. Lowers the shoulder at the 30 and brings him in with him down to the 26.
Yeah. You beat the heck out of the left side, Nick, just by pounding. And what happens is you got to start filling that area. It gets to the center of the field, the football, where you've got both quadrants, even amount of space, east-west. And what happens? He runs it to the other side, and there's a domination on the offensive side, opening up that angle, and you've got just a great acceleration up the field. That's a big chunk of yardage for the Astros.
It was the tackler who
play calling,
paid the price there.
Good play calling.
It was Ryan Bryant. He's had a couple of stops tonight for Salem. Registers the tackle. Meanwhile, on the drive, Brady Spellman now 3 carries, 26 yards.
Yep.
Including that 13-yard gainer a moment ago.
That's just now. That's just in the second half.
Just on this drive.
Add that to 128 or so in the first half. This young man's playing a game.
Got a timeout here with 3:15 to go in the third quarter as Pinkerton wants to talk it over. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in Bedford, Londonderry, and Epping. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. Also by TKQB Academy. Be the best QB you can be at TKQB Academy. Call 603-732-7194. Reach out on Instagram at TKQBA. Also by Accurate Tree Service, because you only get one chance to take a tree down right. Visit AccurateTree.com today for a free estimate. And finally by Jewett Construction. Building game plans really statewide since 1972. Come join us to build something great at JewettConstruction.com.
Boy, what a resume of building they have.
Absolutely. Jordan Ball out of the timeout. First down, touchdown. Around the corner and into the end zone from 27 yards out. Second touchdown tonight for the junior. And Jordan Ball going to celebrate with the Astros as they open up now a 2-score lead at 23-13.
Nick, if there's a guy that looks like a football player, it's Jordan Ball. He is just in incredible shape, incredible strength. He's got breakout type speed when he gets into open space. And if you're going to take that guy on defensively, you're going to pay for it. You really need to be able to tackle him by committee and group. And when he gets in the open field into the secondary, you're not going to tackle him high. He got into the end zone in a hurry. That is a very, very significant drive. The big key there is what do they do to get to this point? They stopped the opening drive by the Blue Devils, and now they're up by 7, 4, 11 points.
Pappas is 3 for 3 on the extra point try. 24-13. And Pinkerton. Well, Steve, they have now scored how many unanswered? 17.
3,
17.
4, 7, and 7. Yeah. 3, 7, and 7. Yep.
That came late. The 10 points late, really late in the second quarter, final 90 seconds. McDonald to Noah Rayau. And then John Pappas' time expired in that second quarter, drilled a 43-yard field goal. This time it's Jordan Ball, goes around the corner, 27 yards for his second score of the night. Pappas' extra point makes it 24-13.
All right.
And we've got a 2-score game, 2-score difference for the first time tonight.
Let's take a look at this, and let's think about the type of back each is. Brady, okay, Spellman, small but rugged, fast as lightning, knifing back. Osanya, which will bowl his way or roll over you. And then you got Jordan Ball, off-tackle type runner. runs like Earl Campbell when he gets into open space. He's a beast. Coach O'Reilly said, yeah, we got some backs. He says it's not going to be Matt Morrison last year, but, we got some backs, and
Certainly
we're going
has
to balance it out. He is absolutely telling the truth when he said that.
He's got a stable of horses to work with, for sure.
Right.
Meanwhile, on the return, it's Shikrala trying to find the 20, but is stopped shy of the 19.
Both of these offensive lines of the Blue Devils and the Astros, Nick, are first-rate grade how these guys block.
So
don't count the Blue Devils out yet because they
not
haven't
at
been able to move the football.
My question to you is, do we see any difference here moving forward now that you're down 11 points with only 15 minutes to play? Is there a change in strategy on the fly?
Well, we saw that Mason can clearly roll out and throw the ball. So if you're going to do it and build some chunks and try to open up that defensive secondary a little bit, that seems to me to be the way to do it. I haven't seen him throw the ball downfield, so I don't know as far as that's concerned, but I agree with you, Nick. I don't think you'll see it here.
Mason keeps it himself on 1st and 10, changes direction, and crosses the 25 up to the 20.
Yeah.
Did he cross the 25? No, they stopped him. Shy of
no,
that,
shy,
at the 22-yard line. So only a 3-yard pickup.
Right,
there
but that was a loss there, Nick. The reality, that was a loss. And what did Mason do? He didn't worry. He didn't lose his composure. He did exactly what you're supposed to do, and that is grab that football with 2 hands and run straight north-south up the field, grab what you can. There's little things about this young man that really impressed me at a very young age.
Been mistake-free tonight from a turnover perspective for Salem.
Yep.
In fact, neither team has had a takeaway. Here's a throw.
Nice throw.
And a completion. Jack Marconi had it. Ball comes out. It's still loose along the sideline. And it's finally ruled out of bounds somewhere around the 45-yard line. Let's see how they play this one.
I didn't see anybody regain possession, Nick. Did you? If it did, it was out of our view.
I believe it went unclaimed out of bounds.
Correct. Which would be Blue Devil ball.
Question is, where is Chuck Robert?
Well, he's aiming as if it's Blue Devil ball. He's aiming in that direction.
Yeah, they're going to spot it at the 33-yard line.
Now, wonder why they're doing that. Are they saying he was down? Because that's where the receiver went down.
That's where the fumble occurred.
That's my point,
right.
Yeah,
so it should be in that area where they spot it here because you can't
correct.
advance it.
No, you can't advance it, no. So that's it. Well, the reason I was asking is I'm wondering if I missed something here. Yeah, first down, Blue Devils. Yeah, it was a fumble. Yeah. I just wasn't sure if they're going to try to call him down. It certainly looked like a fumble because he was looking around as he was still moving.
It's a 13-yard completion. And the third completed pass tonight for the sophomore Van Mason. Second catch for Marconi. So 1st and 10 Salem. Inside of 2 minutes, third quarter. Blue Devils trailing here 24-13. And again, they keep it with Mason around the corner and wrapped up by Rice and Michaud.
Yeah, Mason wants to learn. There's a little bit of a beginner mistake right there. Mason, watch him. He turns around the corner. He really wants to continue knifing upfield to grab that yardage. There was nothing. You're not going to beat those guys outside. You have to know who you're facing. These Pinkerton corners and safeties, and linebackers, you're not going to beat outside. So you got to turn upfield, grab that extra. Could have had 2 or 3 extra yards if he had driven into the pack. But overall, he's just doing an exemplary job. But could have had about 5 yards there at least if he turned upfield. Little things along the way that Coach Abraham will correct for sure.
And a good tackle from the corner spot.
Very much so.
From Rice and Michaud.
Exactly.
2nd and 7, final minute, third quarter. Another run play. It's Shikrala looking for the corner, lowers his shoulder and works his way across the 40 to the 41. It's about 2 yards shy of the stick, so we get a 3rd and 2 coming.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed about Pinkerton is that when they come in their swarm 2-3 at a time at the point of attack, they're able to stop the runner right there. Not a lot of twisting around forward. They've got some here because these backs with the Blue Devils are really good, but overall they've been able to meet them and hold them right there and get a lot of 3rd down and 3s, 3rd down and 5s, and that gives you an opportunity to be able to get the ball back. So just good tackling by both teams, but specifically in open field by the Astros.
Final 15 seconds, third quarter. Third down and 3 officially. Stretch run. Zanini looking for the corner, and he's met at the boundary.
Same situation here.
That's Brady Normile, who forced the issue for Pinkerton on the stop. And the result is a loss of 2, and that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Pinkerton extends the lead. 24-13. Salem looking for answers. Fourth down coming on the other side along with the fourth quarter. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Buckle up, fourth quarter. Pinkerton with a 24-13 lead, and they pin Salem here into a tough spot. The fourth down and 4. The punt team is on the field for Coach Abraham. Spellman is back deep for Pinkerton. The kick from Bryant is high, down the middle, and a fair catch called for and made by Spellman at about the 27-yard line. So the Astros with an 11-point lead. They're going to take over, looking to chew some clock here on the road as Pinkerton seeking win number 3 in week number 3.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if, given the fact that they're down by 2 scores, that Coach Abraham may have rolled the dice there and tried to go for it on fourth down. I wouldn't blame him if he did. I understand he believes in his defense, and he says we're going to give up but we've got to stop them here. So the pressure is really high on this Blue Devil defense. Given the kick, they've got to perform here.
Spellman on 1st and 10, breaks into the secondary. First down and then some, up to the 44-yard line. It's been a Brady Spellman type of night. 127 yards in that first half, and he's just added to that total here since the break. 17 more on that scamper.
But, Nick, the problem is you've also got Jordan Ball and Osanya to think about, and that's what just makes Brady so good, is because, who wants Jordan Ball to get the ball? You got to honor him. You got to face it because he can take it to the house, and Osanya can take it 13, 14 yards if you ignore him. So Coach O'Reilly using his system here to gain yardage. More again here.
Here's A.J. Scholes. I believe, Steve, that's his first carry tonight. I may be wrong, but either way, he's into Salem territory after a 7, maybe an 8-yard pickup. Scholes has been busy defensively, but he checks in here on offense, and another positive run for Pinkerton.
Yeah, Brady just never seems to tire, but I think in that situation he took him off the field, Nick. Give him a little bit of a breather, get a little bit of water, get caught up, because he's going to want him defensively, because he's a tremendous open field tackler, and you don't want to lose him. This offensive line seems to be slowly but surely beginning to win the battle and take the game right now. Long quarter to go. We'll see what happens.
2nd and 2. Michoud, big hole, first down. He's going to drag a few people with him inside the 35 down to the 32.
Nick, you used the word stable as a way to describe Coach O'Reilly's offensive running backs. Now we're seeing that, in fact, it is a stable. You've now got up to 6 backs now who have run the ball and run very effectively. And as the game's gone on, they've got stronger. But always remember, running doesn't happen without an offensive line that doesn't tire. We spoke with Pete Terrier last night on our gridiron. One of the things he said, a little concerned about, not concerned. He said these guys aren't as big as they were last year, but Coach O'Reilly cleared that up very quickly. And
he also brought to our attention, Steve, not to cut you off, but to parlay your point, Harry Yon, first ever freshman to get a start up front in 45 years for Pinkerton. He was leading the way on that last run.
Absolutely.
Coach, he admitted he's brought freshmen up at other skill positions.
But never alignment.
Until Harry Yon this season. And the freshman has more than held his own tonight.
Yes, he certainly has. But right now, this is starting to feel like a little bit of a downhill running game, not grabbing big chunks and finding open spaces. But not only does it happen with the men on the field, young men on the field, it also happened tonight with the play calling. The play calling in halfway through the second quarter and the third quarter, we've seen play calling on the Pinkerton Astros side that's been very, very effective.
Here's Ball back in at tailback. Breaks to his right, gets down to about the 26-yard line.
If you've ever used the terms, adjectives, punishing, downhill running, punishing running, straight up running, all those terms fit here. It's just it's an ability of the offensive line, and I think don't underestimate number 14's impact on even this element of the game with the cadence that he calls, the organization and the way which in the leadership of which he shows, making sure his offensive line is set. He's the real deal at the QB position. Got so many dimensions of him that I believe really helps his football team.
3rd and 3. Left side run, and Osanya is dragged down.
Yeah, Osanya wants to go step upfield in that situation. He'll be immediately corrected on that run. He's a great runner, great player. But in that situation, he had the ability to turn upfield, and he tried to beat the defense outside. Take the yardage in these games that is available. He could have had another 5 or 6 yards if he had turned upfield.
Jack Marconi not to be outdone there. Big tackle. Just grabbed the jersey and hung on for dear life. 4 minutes gone by already in this quick-moving fourth quarter. This Astro drive starting to eat up some time as they look to continue things here on a 4th down and 2. It's really now or never for the Salem defense as the Blue Devils hope for a stop.
Nick, you've called out Harry Wan. I've been watching him a little bit halfway through this third quarter. And you're right, Nick. He's a freshman. He shows he's a freshman every now and then, but overall, this young man has been able to go toe-to-toe with a very, very good defensive lineman that he's going against. And he's you can see why he's the one exception to the rule and playing varsity ball as a freshman. I agree with you.
Yeah, that entire unit has been impressive tonight. As we talked about with Pinkerton, Coach O'Reilly admitted maybe a little smaller than last year, particularly at the tackle spot, but he liked the depth, he likes the athleticism, and the ground game has been surely impressive and impactful tonight for Pinkerton.
Good for a test to try this offensive line again. This is a test against the Blue Devil defense, who out of their first 2 games have proven how stingy they are. Right now, this is. When you look back, do you go for that in 4th down? I don't know. If you don't get it, you probably put yourself at a team. The percentages get very low. But right now, Pinkerton is doing exactly what the Blue Devils didn't want to happen. And as much as a score, it's equal the amount of time that these drives take off the clock.
Yeah.
And this adds to the value in high school football. Like Coach O'Reilly said last night on Gridiron, he said that, this is a high school offense that you can work year in, year out with the personnel that you receive.
We got a tight end right side, a wingback right side, and a run right side for Osanya. Second effort, 1st down, and inside the 10, late flag is thrown. Tackle made at about the 7-yard line. There's a flag back down at about the 17, and this one is coming back. Penalties have hurt Pinkerton tonight, more specifically in the first half, but this one is tough to swallow. The 4th down conversion is wiped out, and the ball is going to be backed up.
Didn't see anything blatant, Nick. There must have been something on the inside of that run where there was a pull or a tug to gain an advantage, and the penalty was called. So
it was thrown late. It was thrown by the referee, I believe himself, Chuck Robert.
Well, sometimes it's just
who has been busy tonight.
The penalty's been cashed in, but you continue to to watch the play as you're reaching for your flag. But it was pretty deliberate just the same, so must have seen something out there. So that is a big penalty that helps to keep things here alive on 4th down for the Blue Devils, Nick. Stay tuned, folks. Not over yet.
Yep, the hold occurred downfield.
Yep.
So 4th and 2 turns into 4th and 4. Again, the first down stick is at about the 22-yard line. Football at the 26, so we'll do it again. McDonald under center, 4th down for Pinkerton. McDonald on a QB rollout. The bootleg's going to work.
Wow.
Fakes the handoff, takes off to his right. He's got room down that far sideline, enough for an Astro first down.
He is the total package, Nick. He has all of the tools in the bag as a quarterback. You know, one of the things that people are looking for at the college level more and more, other than just a passer, is a runner. It's become part of the game right now to add that dimension more than it ever has before. And, you know, in the old days, you could just beat the snots out of a quarterback physically. Today, there's rules that protect them. So it's you know, very feasible. Well, Nick, you go back even in the NFL back when I was a kid watching the 70s, the quarterbacks had the snots beaten out of them. And it was just up and down, you know, guys piling on, just beating them from the backside, headshots, you name it. And today, that's not there, so a quarterback can survive a little better.
Meanwhile, the ball's on the ground here.
Yeah, big moment here. Devils say they have it.
No, they do. Oh, I thought Chuck was going to give us the sign. He doesn't.
Nope. It's still
It's
Pinkerton ball.
Astro football. It's a false alarm.
Big opportunity there for the Blue Devils. I thought they had it the way they were celebrating.
Well, the referee turned his body, raised his right arm as if to signal, but then stopped about 3/4 of the way through.
Yep. Looked like one of the officials must have made
one of the all-time great head fakes from the officials we've seen.
Got to keep things interesting.
2nd down and 10. No gain in the end, but that clock ticking its way down to the midway point here in the 4th quarter. 2nd down and 10. 4-down lineman for Salem. McDonald, handoff, left side, and spinning his way into the end zone for a touchdown is Ryson Michaud, the junior, playing a big part on that drive. 3 carries, including that 15-yard touchdown that caps off the drive. Well, Pinkerton starting to run away with it. 30-13 here with just over 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, just complete collapse on the left-hand side, doubling down on that tackle on the defensive end, and just opens up that whole hole right there. You see that on replay. One more time, complete collapse on that side. And one of the things I talked about last night on Gridiron as well, Nick, we talked about it pregame as well, how well both of these football teams, how quickly they're able to get past the line of scrimmage, and that's a key element in successful running game, and these two teams do it very well. Right at the last couple quarters, Pinkerton's just nailing it on.
Pappas, speaking of nailing it, 4 for 4 tonight with the extra points. He's got a 43-yard field goal to his credit as well. It's 31-13.
Yep.
And the Astros now have scored a number of unanswered points here.
Nice
18 straight.
He's got a leg.
No, 24 unanswered, dating back to late in that 2nd quarter. This was a 14-13 Salem lead with a little over 3 minutes to go until halftime. The Astros put up 10 points in the final 90 seconds, led 17-13 at the break. Jordan Ball, 2 touchdowns tonight. His second came late in the 3rd quarter to make it 24-13. And here in the 4th quarter, it's Ryson Michaud on a 15-yard spin and run to make it 31-13, just over 6 minutes remaining in the football game.
All done at the line of scrimmage, Nick. All done at the line of scrimmage. When you win the line of scrimmage and you have good running backs that can get through the line, and play calling that sequences that the sequences make it very difficult for the defensive set to count on the same thing every time. Got a little bit of a handoff here.
Yeah,
it looks like it's
Zanini.
working.
He's got room.
He's gone.
Zanini will not be caught. Special teams playing a big part for both teams tonight. It's an 80-plus yard return by the senior Jordan Zanini. And don't go away just yet.
Oh,
Salem put 6 on the board. They're back within 12 at 31-19.
Well, you're going to see it was just completely unexpected, and great play calls come when you don't expect them the most. That was a great play call, and boy, did you put it in the right gentleman's hands at that point if you're looking to break a big play, because, boy, has he got some wheels. So this game's complexion with that touchdown still is within reach. It's going to take a lot to do it, but, boy, that was impressive.
81-yard kick return touchdown for Jordan Zanini.
Great execution right there. They gave it to Mason, and Mason, the quarterback, nice job putting him in the game as a quarterback for the handoff. What does that tell you?
Meanwhile, this one may have been blocked. Either way, no good. And it remains a 12-score margin. May or may not impact things, Steve. You cut the gap to 11. That's a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and field goal to tie. Now you need 2 touchdowns.
And these are that 3 points that they lost with that kicking game right before the half end. So there's a point right there. Then there's 3 points that they lost by not being able to get a successful kick with 5 seconds left. That's 4 points in this game.
And they missed another extra point try.
Right, so you're looking at a situation where if that didn't happen, yes, right. So 5 points, you'd be looking at that point, 21.
7-point game.
A 7-point game. So 1 touchdown away. So we talked about that in the beginning of the game. Little things add up to big things in games like today. I thought in the first half, up to halfway through the second quarter, that it was Pinkerton that was really shooting themselves in the foot because of so many penalties, taking away their opportunity for that offense. But, boy, once they cleaned up the penalties, Nick, the offensive line took over, and it's just been Pinkerton all the way through.
They have cleaned things up. 11 penalties, 75 yards against the Astros in that first half, 2 for 15 since.
Yep. Well, you think about momentum in a game. You know, you've got a situation where it's 14-13. They missed an extra point, should have been 14-14. Then they have the kick, they lose the 3. Every time that they get momentum here, they get some momentum back. Instead of talking about that touchdown, we're talking about the missed extra point, missed opportunities. So that does take a toll in the course of a game that's as tight as this, at least as far as the toughness and the expectations of each football team.
Line drive kick. It's fielded by Michaud. He cautiously approaches the 30. Lowers his shoulder along the sideline up to about the 33-yard line. That's where the Astros will take over. Looking to bleed this clock down. 6:06 to go. 12-point lead on the board, hoping to protect the football.
Yeah, one of the things I look at the little things in between the game. Coach Riley has pulled back heavily the amount of play time that Brady has got since they have Spellman has got since they took a large lead, Nick. That's part of the player management. Make sure you get them out of the way, get them out of the game when you can, so they don't get over fatigued and injured. Because you have to, you don't give up on the game. You just want to put them in the most key place where he's going to have the most impact. And when you've got other horses like a Michaud that you can bring in, you're doing pretty darn good. Right. Anybody would want Michaud. Any football team at the varsity level would want Michaud doing a kick return. So,
of course, we know his older brother had some wheels as well. Not too long ago. Cade Michaud played and starred for Pinkerton. Got another timeout on the field here. Midway through this fourth quarter, 12-point lead for Pinkerton, 31-19. Reminder, tomorrow we're back on the air live. We're up north for a big Division II battle between undefeated Trinity and undefeated Plymouth. Our coverage begins at 12:45 Eastern Time ahead of that 1 o'clock kick. You get Pioneers and Bobcats, Trinity at Plymouth in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Should be another good one as we've seen tonight. Also want to call attention to both bands, the Blue Devils band as well as the Astros band. I was down there taking a walk all the way over to the snack shack there, so I had a little bit of time to listen to both bands, and they did a fantastic job.
They did.
Both of this community should be very proud of the musicians that come here to these football games, because these it's all part of it. It's all part of a community event, and boy, that they did not disappoint.
And they've been jamming on and off really through the entire game.
Absolutely. Doing a fabulous job on both ends, making it what it is.
Really amping up the atmosphere. Meanwhile, out of the timeout, A.J. Scholes positive run there up to the 40-yard line. Another 6-yard gain for the senior.
That's a great opportunity to give your running backs an opportunity, your number 2 running back sets, to get some playing time, get some used to a good defenses like the Blue Devils, get some live reps, because you never know. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Scholl's a kid, I believe, Steve.
And none of these guys are weak.
Who moved up across the border from Massachusetts a couple of years ago.
Who's that now?
Scholl's.
Oh, Scholl's, yeah.
Who has contributed tonight in both the ground attack on offense and has registered a number of tackles defensively as well.
Blue Devils defense have got to get in there and try to get the ball, try to cause a fumble. Get
Easier said than done as Michoud breaks 2 tackles and then pushes the pile for an extra yard or 2 as well after picking up the first down. He's stopped at the 47.
Yeah, these first downs create precious time coming off the clock, gives them a whole new set of downs. Be able to wind the clock down and increase the percentage of a victory. But, at this point, you really need to focus on trying to make a tackle, punch the ball loose, pull the arms, team tackle, trying to wrestle the football away.
Well, you said it earlier, the depth of this backfield is tough to contend with when you've got really fresh guys handling the ball in the third and now the fourth quarter. Michoud, I believe, only had 1 carry in that first half, but has been a big part of the plan since the break to try to put this one on ice. Spellman was the bell cow in that first half. He's had some help, so to speak, in the second half. Meanwhile, a flag. Penalty thrown by the back judge. And we got a dead ball foul, delay a game for the second time against Pinkerton. Third penalty since the break, and overall 14th taken tonight by the Astros. So 1st and 15. Football now laying somewhere between the 44 and 43-yard line. 4.5 to go in this fourth quarter. Well, reminder, don't go anywhere after the game. A lot to get to. Full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, and kind of a strange out-of-town scoreboard tonight in Week 3 as well, with some potential upsets brewing.
Always fun to mix things up around the 3rd, 4th, and 5th week of the season. There was an opportunity.
This. The toss nearly ended up on the turf. Instead, it was pulled in ultimately. Jack Richard, who has played a nice game tonight, burst into the backfield there and nearly blew up the play.
Yeah, really surprised they pitched it, Nick, at this point in the football game. Yeah, they pitched it, and it looked like a little confusion of who was supposed to receive the ball there. And fortunately for Pinkerton, for any victim there.
Right.
Yeah, but boy, he was right in the backfield. That was very close.
The important thing for Pinkerton, they hold on to the ball. They do lose 5 yards.
Yeah.
And it turns into 2nd down and 20. I think this is ball again. Second straight carry for the junior. Forward progress is going to give him the 40-yard line in a 2-yard game. Richard again is there on the stop. And now a 3rd and long, 19 on the way. Salem, 2 timeouts left here, Steve. 3:25 and ticking.
Going to need them.
You hope for a stop here, then a timeout?
I think you need to save those timeouts, Nick, to be honest with you. You got 3:16 left. What do we got? 3rd down, right? Well, if you were going to make a call, you would have done it a while ago. You would have done it as soon as that play got dead.
I mean, after this upcoming snap.
Oh, I see.
Michoud going to wiggle his way down for a 1-yard loss. No escaping the blitz there.
Yeah, he's going to take a timeout right now. I think you could go either way on this, Nick, to be honest with you.
Ryan Tott with the stop, and Coach Abraham will spend his 2nd timeout here. 2
scores, you need time. Because you want to be, what Coach is trying to do is open up his opportunity to run the ball, and he's going to have to pass it, but he gives himself an opportunity to do this is all leading towards, if they can get a score, onside kick at this point. So you need that time frame to be able to work the ball down the field. I think that's probably, at the end of the day, a good call. That's his mindset. And then hopefully have a little bit of time left in the clock with an onside kick and be able to get down there and get a couple throws in the end zone. But it's a tall order, given the way this defense One thing I want to call attention to both these teams are these are playoff defenses right here, both these teams. But the speed on the defensive secondary of Pinkerton has been really impressive to me tonight.
Astros,
more than just Brady.
Of course, the defending champs after winning the whole thing last year. Number 1 through the first 3 weeks in the New Hampshire Union Leader Power Poll. Salem number 3 this week.
That is the last thing that Salem wanted.
It
right
takes
there,
a Pinkerton bounce,
25-yard bounce,
and it's stopped downed at about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, what you want that to do if you're the Blue Devils, Nick, is to just kind of bounce straight up in the air and either go back the other way or stay right there. But that just opened up another 20, 23 yards of yardage that they're going to have to gain to get to the end zone. So 2:42 left. At this point, I think you've got to take the risk with Mason to see what he can do. What he showed me with his ability to pass looked pretty solid. And he has some good receivers here, so we'll see what they can do.
Well, Salem, their crowd is still supporting them. Nobody's left.
Nope.
Still a large and mostly Blue Devil-friendly crowd here in Salem.
Salem knows.
1st and 10.
Going to be in it.
From the 13-yard line, Mason is under center. Play fake, drops back, throws down the middle, and this one is broken up and nearly intercepted. Tipped away initially by Scholes.
Well, you had
nearly picked off by Michoud, Noah Rayau in the area on coverage as well.
Surprised they didn't have 2 deep receivers, Nick. They had 1 deep receiver, and that's it. As a result of that, the 2 safeties and the cornerback are all triple coverage on him. He did throw a pretty decent pass down the middle of the field, but just too much coverage. What you really want to do is spread out. If you're going to do this, spread out the field. Get a second deep receiver to drive to split those safeties in the quadrants of the field, which gives you a little bit over space. But you got to be careful because you don't want to pass rush either. You want to create time, but you got to at least get 2 receivers down deep.
2nd down and 10. 2:35 remaining on the 4th quarter clock, and Mason drops back in trouble. That pass may have been tipped. Yep, incomplete. As the Astros get to him on a 4-man rush. Not sure which player got a piece.
Well,
there.
25 Edgecombe, I believe. Ian Davidson.
It's actually Aiden Chapman in the updated roster.
This roster's unbelievable. So anyway, thank you, Nick. Glad you got a good one.
Well, we had to track it down at halftime, but the 25, Aiden Chapman, who has played a pretty good game both in the middle and on the edge tonight.
Yeah. So anyway, he's the one that got into the backfield and did a great job. There was just no opportunity for Van to be able to throw the ball.
Chapman had a couple of tackles.
Yeah, he's just got no time to
in that
throw.
First half. Meanwhile, yes, this one incomplete.
No time to throw here, Nick. You're going to see this thing when they goes to the line. It's just they're right in his face. The last all 3 plays really had a little bit of time to throw it deep, but he's really throwing from a rush position. They're right there.
So 4th down and 10 now.
Yeah, it's just the momentum that's just the Pinkerton's running with right now. They're Nick, offensively, with the offensive line, the running attack they have, everything they've got going on offense. The thing that stuck out to me is what we were talking again to Pete Cherry about last night. Pete is right on. This defense is a heck of a unit. Both these defenses are very solid, but when the time is most important here in the second half, Pinkerton's defense has really been effective.
Bad snap on 4th down. The ball is going to go through the back of the end zone for a safety. So the lead now 33-19 as the safety comes with 2:21 to play in regulation.
Yeah.
Special teams. Been a while, Steve, since we've seen special teams really impact for both better or worse.
Yeah, I mean,
a game like we've seen tonight.
Even if they do, it's generally one quarter. There'll be a bunch of special teams issues. So you kind of go to the end of the game, say special teams a big factor. Special teams have been a big factor every quarter in this game.
Although I guess that was a 4th down conversion attempt by the offense.
Yeah.
But either way, long snap.
Correct.
Typically in the realm of special teams.
Yep.
So Pinkerton adds 2 more with a safety to make it 33-19.
Well, to the hundreds and hundreds of viewers tonight that have been watching this broadcast, we thank you for joining in. We love doing it for you. But not many people have left, so glad you're still staying on. Don't forget our post-game show. If you're interested in Southern New Hampshire, Nick's got a lot of potentially interesting matchup scores.
Yes, we do.
That we'll be talking about after the game, so stay tuned.
Out-of-town scoreboard. Juicy tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make sure Steve is not
That's
cheating.
Interesting.
I want to make sure you're.
No, I've been watching
you're learning,
the game.
You're learning like the others in real time.
I've been behaving.
All right, we got a kick here. Following the safety, the ball is on the tee from the 20-yard line. It kicked high down the middle. Michaud is there at the 25, 30, 35, 40. Makes a man miss at midfield and is still fighting somewhere inside the 45. Flag flies.
Yeah. Something
happened there on the sideline.
Anytime you're at the end of the game where kind of the winner is kind of just a matter of time. Anytime you go to the end zone, you go to the sidelines with bunches like that, there's gonna be a couple of things thrown across. So officials right on that, and we'll see how it works out. A lot of times these are offsetting penalties as well. Personal foul against looks like Salem.
Yep. Nothing against Pinkerton. So we saw 2 personal fouls against the Astros in the first half, and now we see Salem's first penalty of any kind coming here late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Coach Abrams going out.
First penalty of the second half. Excuse me. They had 3 for 15. They took a 15 here. All in all tonight, 4 for 30 against Salem.
Coach Abraham having a little discussion didn't appear too happy about that with the sideline judge, letting him know how he feels.
So the Astros take over with a short field. They go a quick hitter up the middle. I think that's Osanya. It is. It's cut down around the 12-yard line.
When Osanya runs north-south, Nick, and when he happens to go off tackle, looks for the first inside lane, he is the most effective that he can be, and he is effective to say the least. Very effective.
21 yards on that scallop.
Yep. Grab what is there. Don't try to beat people around the corner. Use the asset that you have of tremendous forward power. Grab that first lane and take that yardage there. Force those linebackers inside and then give it to Brady Spellman to go around the corner.
We want to talk about a yards per carry, an impressive yards per carry average. Osanya, I believe, tonight 4 carries, 59 yards.
He's solid, great, very strong, powerful runner. He gets you that tough yardage inside that is so critical to forcing those linebackers to step in and honor him first, which opens up the outside for the Jordan Balls and the Brady Spellmans.
Victory formation is Aiden McDonald. Shows some mercy here. Coach O'Reilly showing some class by having the senior quarterback drop to a knee. And it looks like the Astros are set to run out the final 60-plus seconds here, content with a 33-19 lead on the board. So Pinkerton with a road win is going to improve to 3-0. And then get set for the rivalry that's circled every year. That, of course, is the Mac Plaque game. It's in Derry this season, and we'll be there next week to cover it all live. Londonderry at Pinkerton Friday night. Salem, they don't have an easy one either. They're on the road at BG next Saturday night. So both teams with big week 4 matchups to look forward to. But tonight is Pinkerton's night. Yes, we should be.
We should be at BG on Saturday night as well, folks. So jam-packed weekend next week.
Weekend. We're not even done this weekend. Tomorrow we're in Plymouth.
We've got a beauty tomorrow.
For Trinity at Plymouth. That's going to do it here as the teams are going to congratulate one another at midfield. The final seconds are set to run off the clock. The Astros are going to win this one. 33-19 is the final. Pinkerton 3-0. Salem, they suffer their first setback and slip to 2-1. Coming up,
Stay with us.
Stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard, and more. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Maybe it's leaning too close to your home. Maybe it's not healthy. Or maybe you just don't like it there. No matter what the reason is, if you need tree work or pruning, call Accurate Tree Service. They have the right equipment and expertise to properly diagnose, treat, or remove trees, no matter how difficult the terrain. Perhaps simple, careful pruning by our certified arborist is all you need to manage your trees and shrubs. When it comes to your tree care, contact the full-service tree care experts today, Accurate Tree Service, because you only get one chance to take a tree down right.
Are you a quarterback who is ready to take your game to the next level? Well, then it's time to join TKQB Academy. Founded by former UNH standout Trevor Knight, TKQB Academy has worked with student athletes from around New England, helping young quarterbacks to reach their full potential. TKQB Academy offers one-on-one and group sessions that will help you instantly improve your accuracy, timing, mechanics, and footwork. So be the best QB you can be at TKQB Academy. Call 603-732-7194 or reach out on Instagram at TKQBA. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today.
Well, 33-19 ends up being the final score as Pinkerton comes here to Grant Field to defeat Salem and improve to 3-0. Nick Anastas along with Steve Beals. This one got out to an early lead as Pinkerton scored late in the first quarter. Jordan Ball on drive number 2. Scored from 6 yards out. Former Londonderry Lancer. Big night tonight for him in terms of touchdown scoring. 7-0 Astros after 1. Salem second quarter. Sophomore quarterback Van Mason starting in his first game tonight. Passed the eye test. Certainly on this drive. A 6-yard touchdown of his own to tie the score at 7 in the first minute of the second quarter. Later in that frame, Salem took a brief lead as Colin Salkovich scored on a 1-yard touchdown. Extra point failed. 13-7 Salem with just over 3 minutes to go until halftime. Then the big swing, I thought, came in the final minute and a half before the first half ended. Final 90 seconds of the second quarter. As Aiden McDonald hooked up with Noah Rayau on a 31-yard touchdown pass for Pinkerton on a 3rd down and 9. Extra point was good. 14-13 with a minute 30 to go. Then the Astro defense, they hold Salem, forced them into a tough punt with seconds remaining. Punt goes out of bounds at the Blue Devil 25 with less than 3 seconds. Enough time for Coach O'Reilly to trot on John Pappas, the senior kicker, who connected from 43 yards out as time expired. 17-13 Pinkerton at halftime. More of the Astro run game in the third quarter. Ryson Michoud scores from 15 yards out. Another successful extra point for Pappas. 31-13 Pinkerton, again midway through the third quarter. And then on the ensuing kickoff, Salem gets a score from Jordan Zanini. That's in the fourth quarter. 81 yards. Extra point was blocked. 31-19 at that point. And then the Astros force a safety on a 4th down on a bad snap. Goes out of the back of the end zone. They tack on 2 more. And that's how this thing ends. 33-19 Pinkerton with the win. They'll host Londonderry in Week 4 in the Mac Plaque game. Salem back on the road in Nashua at Bishop Girton next Saturday night. Some final numbers, unofficial of course, but still impressive. Brady Spellman, only 13 carries, but 170 yards tonight, all on the ground for Pinkerton. We mentioned Jordan Ball. He scores 2 touchdowns on just 5 carries for 36 yards. The fullback, senior Joe Osanya, was impressive. Only 4 carries, but 59 yards. We mentioned Rice and Mishu had a big second half, including that 15-yard touchdown run. For Salem, impressive debut for Van Mason as he throws for 50 yards on 3 completions, 9 carries for 23 yards, and again had the 1 rushing touchdown. And defensively for the Blue Devils, how about Caden Alsop and Jack Richard, 2 juniors, both with a handful of stops unofficially tonight in what was a great defensive effort for Salem. Steve, your thoughts?
Great defensive effort from Salem, without a doubt. They're good defense, but they got worn down tonight by the midway through the third quarter, Nick, you could see. But that culminated or happened because of the fact that Pinkerton had some long drives where they weren't able to get their offensive unit on the field. I thought when you looked at the early part of the game, that defense was holding up. It was holding firm, and this game was kind of in a vice there. I do agree with you that I think that there were 2 things. There was the botched punt that put them within field goal range, and then to be able to make big plays at big opportunities at big times. They kick a 43-yard field goal, which makes it 17-13 going into half. That was huge. And the second thing comes, it's all part of the same flow, about 2 minutes. Come out the second half, add another minute and a half of that. Pinkerton stops the Blue Devil kick return with the opening up in the drive, and then they go down to score on a long but yet decisive drive down the field, which gave the 2-score advantage. And then it was just been downhill ever since that. It was just too much to overcome. Look, the Blue Devils are going to be a playoff contender. There's no doubt in my mind about it. This team is a solid football team. Ian Mason showed me as a sophomore poise, confidence, handoffs, roll out to weak side, roll out to strong side. He can throw the ball. Got to give this kid some time. It ultimately comes down to line play, offense and defensive line, but offensive in particular. And if you look at the offensive movement off the ball, Pinkerton owned the whole second half as far as I'm concerned. It was right now, both these teams got film. I just told the other gentleman, the team that usually loses the game that has a good coaching staff, which Salem does, usually has a more to gain by having matchup film. And Steve Abraham will go in like a film rat that he is, and I know he's got some assistants on there that I know pretty well that are absolute film rats that will take these matchups and look at this game and what he can do to improve his team if these teams play again. I want to shout out a big shout out to Coach O'Reilly and his offensive play callers and the work down. They came out in the second half and just delivered that running game.
Yeah.
And the play calling, it wasn't just the players, but of course the majority. But the coaching staff gave these players the right offensive calls in the right times, reading those defenses, and then that just created a momentum that just Coach Steve wasn't able to get his group to overcome. I still think the defense by the end of the third quarter was pretty demoralized at that point, and it's awful hard to get the anvil, get the millstone up the hill from that point. Sorry about the long, but there's so much in this game that comes back. I can't wait to watch it on rerun again. It was
good fight tonight for sure.
Good fight tonight. Very well put.
And I think we've got one in store tomorrow as well with Plymouth and Trinity. We'll preview that in just a second. But I want to get to these scores here, Steve. Week 3 will begin in Division 1 with a big upset. Central knocks off Concord, 13-7 the final. Little Green get their first win as Concord, fresh off an upset of their own last week over perennial power Londonderry. They fall to 1-2 with the loss. Central improves to 1-2. In the East, big second half for Winnicott. They stay unbeaten. They squeak past Dover 21-14 after trailing at halftime.
Yeah, game of fight though. Yeah.
So the Warriors are 3-0, headed into a battle against 3-0 Exeter. Blue Hawks get it done tonight by 2 on the road at Londonderry. 23-21 is the final. Lancers are 1-2 for the first time since I can remember, as Exeter improves to 3-0. Londonderry did make it interesting by scoring a touchdown in that final minute to draw within 1. Exeter comes down after stopping the conversion. They get a field goal with 2 seconds left to win the game. If that sounds familiar in reverse, it should, as Londonderry last year in the semifinals kicked a field goal to beat Exeter at the buzzer. Exeter returns the favor in Londonderry. Certainly a strange occurrence tonight.
Yes.
Speaking of strange, how about shutting out Bedford for a full half? That's what Thornton Academy out of Scarborough, Maine was able to do tonight at the Doghouse. However, Coach Matthews has found the right recipe in the second half. Bedford leading, still 5 minutes to go, 26-14 over Thornton Academy.
That's
the Bulldogs.
good for Bedford to have some good competition out, different looks, different way. Zach Matthews uses every opportunity possible to improve his team. He's proven that year in, year out.
Sharpening the sword tonight against tough out-of-state competition. Yep. Congratulations to the Merrimack Tomahawks. They get their first win. 14-10 over Nashua North. The Titans slipped to 2-1 after catching their first L. And finally down in Division 2.
That's a big win for Merrimack.
It is. Manchester West rolls over Conval 41-13. My Blue Knights are 3-0.
I try to keep him calm, folks, but he just can't help it.
Had to throw it in.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Division 2, we're on the road tomorrow up in North Country. We're at Plymouth. We're on the air, 12:45, ahead of that 1 o'clock kick as the Trinity Pioneers look to stay unbeaten and beat Plymouth. Of course, the Bobcats are gunning for a 3-0 start as well.
You talk to people about that game that are in Division 2, and you could get about a 50-50 on both sides of who they think is going to win. Right. So I've learned a lot by asking a few questions to people, and Pete gave us a little bit of insight on that last night as well. So I'm kind of excited to see how that every time Trinity goes up to Plymouth or Plymouth comes down to Trinity, it's an event.
It's a fight for sure.
I do have one quick final thought I wanted to mention quick. If Pinkerton can play the Salem Blue Devils, which have proven to me they are a solid football team, and they can have 75 yards of penalties basically in the first half, what are they going to do when they're penalty-free? You use the proper word, Nick, stable of running backs with an offensive line that is executing at high level.
Right.
It's going to take a heck of a football team to take these guys down.
Yeah.
So they looked that strong. So
they look like the defending champs.
They sure
for sure.
They
tonight.
sure do.
Part of a 33-19 win.
Salem is that good.
Yep. All right, I want to thank everybody here in Salem,
yes.
starting with Scott Insignia and his staff here, making it easy for us throughout the week. Our friends Andre and his crew over here in the press box. Of course, the Campbells over at Salem
so
TV
good.
always treat us very well.
Guys.
So we appreciate all the effort all the way around when we come here to Salem.
You bet.
And we look forward to doing it yet again. I want to thank our sponsors, Beals Insurance, MG Sports Fundraising, Accurate Tree Service, Jewett Construction, and TKQB Academy for keeping things moving on our end. Our staff, hardworking as usual. 2 men in the trench tonight. John Barron, who spearheaded the setup. Matt Beals, he's in the trench every week, as we know. And, of course, upstairs, Kristen Beals, pinch hitting tonight and doing a great job from up on the roof of the press box. And, of course, the whole thing orchestrated flawlessly by the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, our director, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For executive producer Steve Beals, my name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Pinkerton 33, Salem 19. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.